And I wrote this down because I feel like we got it wrong again.
We did. Rei is the first child.
Rei is the first child. Shinji is the third child.
So I'm going to go ahead and I will formally apologize. Because I think I was misleading everyone, all of you two anyway.
So we do not know who the second child is.
We know. Asuka's the second child.
Asuka's the third child, or the fourth child.
Is she?
I believe so, yeah.
Now, hold on a second. We're going to end this once and for all.
Are you going to look up? Are you going to spoil yourself?
No, don't Google who the second child is. I'm going to Google who's the fourth child.
Well, that might spoil something too.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Asuka is which child?
What child is Asuka? Welcome back to my first anime, Evangelion. This week, doing episodes 11 to 16, which I hope we appended at some point. The fourth Impact, Chris Bailey.
And Impact, Salvador, also known as Monkey.
I haven't impacted yet, but I'm Anthony Vaught.
So episode 11, In the Still Darkness, or The Day Tokyo 3 Stood Still, co-written by Yoji Enokido. We open with Ritsuko, Maya, and some guy. Have we seen this guy before?
He's one of the scientists, isn't he? No, I mean, not a scientist, but he's like one of the people in the computer room.
Is he?
Dude, so much shit happened. I can't remember one singular guy.
Okay, he's like the long hair guy who was with them at the laundromat.
I think he's the guitarist.
Oh, he was the dude playing like air guitar?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because you remember that scene where it shows what everybody does in their spare time or when they're not busy?
Yeah, okay. Because I put a note like, who the hell is this guy?
I honestly thought that was Koji.
Oh, okay.
Kaji?
Yeah, they all look alike.
Yeah, Kaji.
But I think it's a fun little point that we've kind of been seeing, or actually I think it is one of these episodes that we kind of get the bit with Masato as well, that we learn that, oh, these people actually don't make much money probably.
No, it's a government job.
And also they don't have time to do their own laundry.
Random questions. I would think there would be a laundry, like a fucking washer and dryer where they work at. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because they spend like the whole time over there. I would.
If it doesn't facilitate the EVAs, it doesn't matter.
I guess that works.
Facts.
Anyways, the dryer uses up too much energy.
Gendo said, fuck laundry.
Fuck laundry.
I wear the same suit every day. You guys can too.
They got those industrial power washers for laundry for Eva. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they need washing machines, don't they? Because they do have Eva costumes. Oh,
But
Eva
we actually do get something pertinent out of this scene where they start walking to the train station, I guess. And Ritsuko, I believe, explains how the council in the city is just for show, basically. And the Magi just makes all the decisions and they just go with it.
Yeah, it's like a computer government is the one I wrote down.
3 linked computers decide their fates.
Yeah, so the Magi is basically a series of 3 supercomputers that they all have to agree on something for it to be done. So they just decide all like ordinances and government stuff, and then a figurehead council puts it out to the people. Also kind of, I guess, a nice thing. I think they run into Fuyutsuki, like Gendo's right-hand man on the train. Like, oh, hey, you're going in early. So it's kind of fun to even see like that guy is just like...
Just on the train.
Going to work.
Yeah. I think they'd have like a helicopter come pick him up or some shit.
And Shinji calls Gendo because there's like a parent thing going on at the school.
Big yikes.
Yeah, this is good.
I thought it was so random, though. It was just like, oh, does this, I guess, parent come in day, which we always seen, what's her name? Michio do it, right? For Shinji?
Masato?
Yeah, Masato. Yeah. I don't know why. I had the name down, but I completely forgot how you pronounce it.
Gendo says, like, what do you mean? That's what Masato's for.
Yeah, exactly. And I put, fuck you, Dad. That's all I put that.
And he says, like, stop putting these calls through while he's still on the line, and then hangs up.
I hate this guy. I literally hate this guy. Although, he's a little legit this episode. A little bit. Just a little bit.
I understand, though. I mean, his son's getting in the way of his, like, just crossing his fingers and putting it up to his chin time.
Yeah, man.
I get it. Fucking asshole.
He spent a lot of time working on that finger steeple.
So I put this down. Can't interface Ava. Do you guys know what that's about?
Yeah, that's
yes,
later.
Oh no, this
I
was
think.
before the dad conversation.
They're doing some testing with Ray's unit, but I don't remember the specifics of it. Yeah, then power goes out at the nerve base, and thankfully this plot kind of goes nowhere. Masato and Kaji get trapped in an elevator together.
Because of course.
Yeah, but like literally nothing happens with that, either like shitty or interesting. It just goes to a couple bits where he's like, hey, if it's too hot, you could take your shirt off. And she's like, fuck off, dude. And that's basically the entire elevator plot.
Completely understandable for Kanji's thing. I mean, if you're hot, take your shirt off. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, but he's Kaji. He's being an asshole.
We realize the power system is a triple redundant like power system. Like, how the fuck this would go down? Like, there's no way this should go down, and it does. So we know that someone's behind it.
I initially thought it was an angel.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair assumption. We do get like the kids arriving together, which is kind of nice, I guess. You know, they're all getting there at the same time before things fall apart.
I actually want more of the kids interacting with each other. Like, I'm so tired of the fucking grown-ups and the fucking secret stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, do I have a set of episodes for you. 11 through 16.
Yeah, kind
More
of.
secret stuff and more kids,
No,
honestly.
it's a lot more secret stuff. It's a lot more secret stuff than kids.
Yeah, we probably get the most of them.
I'm just saying, you guys, these group of episodes, I was just bored. I was bored.
Oh,
the
I actually kind
entire
of like this
time.
group, I think, especially the last couple. Yeah, they assumed the base we learned that the base was sabotaged by somebody. And around that time, the ninth angel, Matariel, appears, who's a big ass eyeball spider. And we just see him like walking through the town or walking through the city with these weird, like pencil-y legs.
I want to confirm something. We don't know the names of them yet.
No, we
Right?
do not.
No, but since they have names, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we also get that in
Yeah,
episode
that's true.
14, their names. Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't missing something obvious.
Like I said, they might like appear on as text somewhere on a screen, but even that's probably not translated.
So around this time, I don't know, maybe I'm skipping ahead, but I have crossed finger ass little bitch and bitch too.
No, you're ahead.
Are you talking about the foot baths?
No, I'm talking about the commander and lieutenant commander. I don't know. I wrote it down, so it must have been slightly
Oh,
important.
okay. I don't know, man.
Okay, so before that though, I wanna discuss major thing. So let's go. So we get the three kids together, Shinji, Asuka, and Rei. And Asuka just really wants to become the fucking leader. It's so like sad. You're like, oh my gosh, like you don't know what you're doing. And I just think it's hilarious that like I guess she does appoint herself as the leader. So they have to go to the manual door. And she's like, oh, Shinji, this is for you. And he just opens up the door. And I'm like, I don't think Shinji's the strongest one out of this group. I would have to say Asuka Rei might be stronger than Shinji. I don't know why Shinji's opening up this fucking door.
Because this is
that's
a show
what
about
men do.
gender roles.
I just had to put that out.
I don't remember if it might be that scene or a later scene, but it's happened so many times, and I had to call it out. Asuka's little arms akimbo, wide-legged stance that she takes all the time is so good. She's constantly power posing on people.
I still hate her.
Okay, you guys, I got a question. Out of the three, who do you think is the strongest?
Physically?
Yeah.
Probably Shinji.
Fuck, I don't
honestly.
know.
You think so? Okay, I would say Asuka might be the strongest.
I mean, we don't have any reason to believe that any of them have done like any actual strength training. None of them look particularly strong, so like just biologically speaking, it would probably be Shinji.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with Rei to be a contrarian.
You know what? Maybe it is Rei because I'm not 100% convinced that Rei is an actual human yet. So.
Oh my god. Oh,
But
okay.
we'll get there.
Yeah, I don't know what fucking episode it is, but it was just like, oh, Rei might not be human.
Yeah, we'll talk about Rei. Yeah, so the kids are going through, they have to like crawl through vents and climb stuff and whatever to try and get into the base. And we get a cut to like the nerve command center, and it's really hot in there.
I love
And
this scene.
I think Ritsuko or someone is like, oh man, look at the commander. It's so hot in here, but he's keeping cool. Then it cuts up there and he's in a foot bath
Yeah.
with Fuyutsuki, and he's like, this water is lukewarm. It's like, yes.
I think that's where my comment came in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I loved it. It was so good.
It was so good, dude. I just love the fact that what's good. Jindo has to look so like menacing that he has to hide the fact that he's hot.
It was, dude, that was great. That was like maybe the funniest thing in this entire series. There's an assistant out there, I guess, collecting someone's laundry who ends up commandeering a campaign car to try and get to base, which I probably should have paid more attention to what it was like campaigning because it probably has something relevant. There's a comment about, I forget who makes it, probably like Gendo, who makes a comment about like, oh, man's greatest enemy isn't the angels, it's man itself, which, yeah, thank you. Every fiction story has made that exact same thesis for 2,000 years.
And it's true.
We got it.
It's
yeah,
true,
it is, but
come on, you got to keep on saying it, dude.
I might argue that the giant space monsters are a bit of a threat.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're facing against big giant space monster, and there's a fucking human running around trying to sabotage us.
Who do you guys think it is?
Oh, it's Kaji.
It's not like all the humans are combined their efforts to fight against the angels. We still have to fight against ourselves to fight against a fucking common enemy. That's fucking awful if you think about it like that.
Yeah, humans are dumpsters.
Yeah, we're garbage fires. But who do you think it is?
I think it's red herring.
You think he shut down everything?
It's either Kaji or someone we haven't met.
I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It would
I don't
have
think it's
to be.
Kaji. Unless he could, well, I mean, I guess whoever he's working for specifically. I know they explained it. It's still over my head.
Kaji is the Always Sunny Mac meme of I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top.
Ugh. I think this is around this time. I don't know specifically. I've been holding it because I don't know when exactly it happens. But
Yeah.
there's a scene, there's somewhere where it says the ends justify the means, and it cuts from Genji to Rei. And it was a comparison between the two just to keep that weird thing going. Just to be like, hey, don't forget about them.
Look, we're going to talk about Rei. I've got some feelings about Rei that might make that even weirder.
What episode?
16, I think.
All right, we'll retouch that later.
Well, maybe not necessarily that exact moment, but the relationship between Rei and Gendo. There's them crawling through the vents, and the only reason I want to talk about this is because if you watch an anime or play a JRPG or whatever, and there are vents or ladders involved, a girl in a skirt is going to go ahead of a guy and then yell at him for looking. It happens in fucking everything.
All right, before we discuss this, though, before we discuss the vent, so fucking the three kids are together, and Asuka is the leader, and she does not know where the fuck she's going. And of course, Rei knows where she's going, but she's Rei, so Rei's like, oh, let's go this way, and Asuka's like, oh, no, let's go the other way. And then Asuka straight up tells Shinji, who do you pick? I'm like, Shinji, stop being a bitch. We obviously know the Rei knows where to go. You need to pick a side, dude. Like,
See, I blame Asuka for that part because she put him on. She should just know that Rei's smarter than her and give in once in a while.
yeah, but it's not Asuka's personality. Asuka has to be the one that's like right or whatever it is.
Because her personality's trash.
It is a bad personality, but Rei's personality is not good either.
Yeah, I would say they're all pretty bad personalities.
I mean, I'm just saying the one that infuriates me the most is Shinji, because Shinji had any balls, he'll definitely pick Rei and they would go the right way. But instead, they spend fucking 20 minutes trying to find a fucking place because Asuka decides, let's go this way because it's the opposite of Rei.
But it's okay, though, because the kids will still get there in time.
Yeah.
Which I think is a direct quote from, like, Masato.
Yeah, probably. But that moment, exists to show that Shinji, it's not so much that he can't make that decision, it's that he can't decide whatever it is he's trying to decide between Rei and Asuka. And the two of them clearly represent like different, they're different embodiments of like, I guess, type of women, for lack of a better phrase. Like you have Rei, who more falls into, at the time, like the stereotypical like subservient, passive, gentle, like housewife, and she's Japanese. And then you have Asuka, who's like the loud, outspoken, strong, confident Western woman and independent as well. So you have Shinji trying to reconcile these conflicting ideas, I think, of what women are and what they're supposed to be.
If I was Shinji, I would just immediately, if these are my two options for a love life, I would just become celibate.
Oh my god.
That's the thing. I don't think that it's even necessarily like a romantic thing for Shinji. I think it's more of an idealistic thing. I don't think Shinji has the mental capacity at the moment to be like romantically interested in someone. If he does, then I think it's because he feels like he's supposed to be.
To me, I don't think Shinji has any like romantic feelings for Rei at all, as of right now.
No.
I could see him and Asuka together. Like, I could see those two just because, like, Asuka brings out a different personality than Shinji would ever, like.
Yeah.
And then Shinji almost kissed Asuka, like, before. Like, I guess he did touch Rei, but, like, that was all by accident.
Yeah. Whatever feelings he has towards either of them, I don't think he understands them.
I give you that one. 100%.
I actually think Shinji does understand jealousy a lot with Rei. That guy's jelly.
Well, yeah,
That's
he's
what I'm
jealous
saying.
of Rei's relationship with Gendo,
Yeah.
but I don't think, but not in a romantic way. It's because he wants attention from his dad.
That's more like a sibling rivalry, it seems like.
Yeah. Also, in that, I think actually right before that scene, and this might be kind of what you were talking about, Anthony. I don't remember, but Shinji talks about like, oh, like what are the angels? Why are they attacking us and all that?
Oh, yeah. That was a very important scene that we almost skipped.
Yeah, he tries to understand the angels, and then Asuka comes back with like, who cares? They're trying to kill us, so we're gonna get them first. Which kind of agree with Asuka here.
If you know thy enemy, you are able to destroy them better.
I mean, understanding them is definitely correct, but it almost feels like Shinji is like, are we even like doing the right thing? Like, what are we doing here? Like he seems not committed to the fight, not in the way that like, oh, we need to know more about them so we can more effectively fight them.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this fact right now. There better be a good fucking reasons why the angels are attacking. Because like gosh, they make no goddamn sense. None of what they do makes any sense. They're smart, they're not smart. They come in all different shapes and sizes. I do not understand what the fuck the angels are supposed to be about.
I guess you have to wait until episode 26 to find out.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
Maybe even End of Eva, who knows? So right after that scene, we get the bit where Asuka kicks open the door and is immediately greeted by Matariel. She flies back in and slams the door and gets back up, is like, good, visual confirmation. Now we know the angels out there.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're not gonna discuss the fact that they're doing everything in manual mode?
I mean, we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, this was whenever... I know what you're talking about
Yeah,
now.
I mean, you're right. We do learn that back at the command center, they're doing everything in manual mode to prep the Evas for the kids to arrive.
And this is one of the first times we see Gendo.
Yep.
He is putting his insert work euphemism here. Nose to the grindstone. rolling up his sleeves.
Yeah, Gendo's doing some stuff finally, which when they actually get there, like we see that.
Yeah.
And like Shinji looks at him like, oh, look at him doing stuff. He's working so hard.
Ugh.
My dad, cool guy, which sucks. I don't remember the conversation. It has to be something with Rei, I think, where Asuka gets mad and says, don't look down on me.
Oh, I don't know that either.
It's over my head.
All right. Couldn't have been that important. And I wrote this down because I feel like we got it wrong again.
We did. Rei is the first child.
Rei is the first child. Shinji is the third child.
So I'm going to go ahead and I will formally apologize. Because I think I was misleading everyone, all of you two anyway.
So we do not know who the second child is.
We know. Asuka's the second child.
Asuka's the third child, or the fourth child.
Is she?
I believe so, yeah.
Now hold on a second. We're going to end this once and for all.
Are you gonna look up? Are you gonna spoil
No,
yourself?
don't Google who the second child is. I'm going to Google who is the fourth child.
Well, that might spoil something too.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Asuka is which child?
What child is Asuka? Okay, no, you're right. Asuka is the second child.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not missing any children.
Shinji's the third one.
No. Rei is number 1. Asuka is number 2. And Jesus Christ. Shinji is number 3. He is the third child.
Okay, so let's go. Doing everything in manual mode is actually pretty badass. I'm just saying, like, let's go. Like the fact that the Avas have to break apart their, I wouldn't say restraints, but you get what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Yeah, we've seen them break restraints this whole fucking series.
But I'm saying it's really cool to see everything being done in manual mode. I like the whole sequence.
If we're going to go ahead and talk about that, I really love the launch Avas and then just crawling. That shit was funny.
Which Asuka is not happy about that.
she was
She's like, oh my
launch
god, this is so
Avas, and they
degrading.
start crawling out. That was fucking hilarious to
And
me.
they're like, they're climbing up that big well, and then Matariel shows up and drips his eye goop acid on them, which is gross.
God, how disgusting is that? That's like unsettling and disgusting at the same time.
And then Asuka comes up with a plan because they drop their gun to the bottom of the hole. Her plan is for Shinji to get in position to shoot Matariel. Asuka is gonna sit up there and absorb the acid long enough for Rei to drop down and throw the gun back up to Shinji.
Checks out.
Not bad plan, except if the fucking angel has an.
It's very simple.
No, except if the angel had an AT field, this would not work.
I think the whole purpose of getting acid dropped on is he has to lower his AT field to do that. I think that was the reasoning I thought, because they mentioned AT field.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of what I took.
And I think it's part of Asuka's duties and I think that was just it. It was just her to get dripped on.
Yeah. Which, hey, is a nice moment because, Asuka is like, hey, I'll take the attack. It's your moment to shine, Shinji.
I think it's a nice moment, but to make sure that no one thinks less of her as a fucking badass, she worded it like, hey, Shinji, I owe you one.
Oh, yeah, because, well, no. Doesn't she say, like, okay, afterwards, like, okay, we're even
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, well, she says it beforehand, too. She was like, you can be the one to attack because I owe you one or something like that.
Okay.
Also, Ray is the one that volunteers first, and of course, since Ray volunteered, I think Asuka is like, no, I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah. Ray was like, I'll do defense. We're like, yeah, of course you will.
I mean, just jump in front of a bullet for me, Ray. I mean,
she do it.
You're all that kind of lady, and we love you for that. But God damn,
my favorite quote of the series still is, "You want to be friends? If I'm ordered to."
God, it's so good.
That's
such a it's so perfect.
Plan works. Power comes back on. We get a nice shot of the kids hanging out on that hill.
Yeah, that was cool. I would like to see more stuff like that, if that's what you guys were talking about earlier.
I just like to see them do stuff more together.
We get a couple of moments.
Like I said, I would like a team training course. Like they have to go to camp and learn how to work with each other.
I don't think we're getting that.
No.
Time to go to space camp, guys.
But I don't remember. I don't think there was any pertinent conversations on that hill, but it was just a nice moment.
Yeah, wholesome. The only conversation they had was it was Shinji being like, it's kind of nice out here, and I think Asuka was like, it looks dead. something along those lines.
We got anything else on episode 11?
I'm all tied up.
There's a quote that I don't remember, but it sounds good. Ray says, "Man feels the darkness, thus scrapes away at the edges of it with fire."
That's at the very end, yeah. I think. Because they're talking about lights and stuff. Yeah, she says at the very end.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Ray is on some shit in this group of episodes.
I think she's just being told to talk, and this is what she thinks the whole time. Because she doesn't really talk that much.
Oh, dude, wait till we get to her fucking stream of consciousness. We'll move on to episode 12, The Value of Miracles, or she said, don't make others suffer for your personal hatred. Co-written by Akio Satsukawa. And we open on probably one of my favorite sequences of the series so far. 15 years ago.
The Masato escape tube?
Oh, yeah, it's
good.
The whole thing is just gorgeous. Yeah, we see Kid Masato being carried by a man who we learn is her father. And he puts her into a tube so she can get away. And, we are obviously meant to infer that this is this is the second impact. It is actively happening.
Mm-hmm. And I
scene.
think when you called it last section or podcast, she was 14.
Yeah, she would be 14.
So the same age.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that ends up mattering or if it's just pure coincidence.
I don't know if it matters, but...
And then we get that shot of which I don't know how I forgot about these. Well, for one, they're in the opening. But the big, wings of light and the just roaring or groaning or screaming.
Yeah.
As these wings are just, all we can see is those, and it's clearly nothing but destruction around them.
You know what I hate about those wings? They look so good, but if you look at the opening, it kind of spoils something about the wings. Yeah, it really pisses me off. I don't want to spoil it for Anthony if he hasn't seen it.
No, I watched the opening.
Okay.
I forgot about it because of the other 4 episodes, but yeah, I remember seeing that and man, I think that was I think I actually audibly said that.
Somebody gets wings.
Yeah. Try not to pay attention to anime openings. They will spoil everything.
Yeah, they will spoil everything. There's an anime that me and Owens love, and it's JoJo, and the opening spoil the entire series. You don't know about it, but
Does doo-doo.
Yeah, it spoils the whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy that they do that.
But do we still watch the opening? Yes, we do. Especially this one, Evangelion opening.
Yeah, once I saw
good.
those, like once the wings clicked for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start the opening, and then I'm gonna write down the episode name and do like my prep notes while the opening plays, and try not to look at it.
Yeah.
We cut back to present day on Misato's scar, which again, if you forgot about that, or I guess we're meant to assume that she got it there.
I think so. All I remember was she was bloody afterwards, but I don't remember like her holding her stomach. I don't know.
Yeah, she had blood in the opening of or when she was in the tube. She had gotten injured.
Okay. She comes out, and Shinji's friends are over again. And Kensuke, being the little nerd suck up that he is, notices that Misato got promoted.
Oh, congratulations, Misato. Everybody's like, what?
She had another stripe.
It was so weird though, right? I was like, I thought they would bring it more into the foreground as he got promoted, but the fact that we get it through these kids' eyes is really weird. I mean, I know that's the whole point of it, but like, it's still weird.
Well, for one, we learned that the promotion doesn't really mean much to Misato, and two, we basically learned that she was only promoted so Gendo and Fuyutsuki can be away at the same time, and then so Misato can be in charge. Like, they just needed her to have that rank so those two can fuck off and do whatever.
I didn't know that.
She has already been in charge, hasn't she, whenever they go away?
I must have missed that, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, to just give her like, the opening to her, you know? And then throw in all this major stuff, and then... I mean, she's obviously already ran missions, so why not just give her the title if it gets people off their back? And it's a perfect way for the writers to be like, hey, here's a little glimpse into her past.
We learned they're going to be doing some harmonics testing. I wrote Asuka jealous. I feel like I wrote that on every single episode, and I don't remember why every time.
I remember this one.
Okay, so what's good? The harmonics test is what's called Shinji is rapidly getting more connected with the robots, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, though, he is rapidly getting there. Asuka is the person with the highest connected to the robots. But Shinji's like close to hotel.
Right. Yep. Because Ritsuko's like, oh, you grew like 8 points. Like, that's great. That's awesome. And Asuka's like, I'm still 50 points ahead of him. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Notice
Where's
me,
my
senpai.
praise?
Notice me. Come on.
Okay. So does Masato say to Asuka that she's always worried about what other people think? Because I know she says that about Shinji too, but I don't remember if that's right here.
I don't have anything wrote down.
Okay.
After that, we go to the party.
Yeah, we get to the party. And Hikari is there because apparently her and Asuka are friends.
Yeah.
And all the kids start yelling at each other. And what's great is you occasionally, like every 3 seconds, you hear Pen scream.
Oh, I did not notice that at all.
Yeah, you just hear this like, ah!
That's pretty good. I didn't hear that.
That was supposed to be Pen screaming. But we get this really good bit between Shinji and Misato.
Of course you relate to it.
What?
I was just making fun of you, being socially awkward.
Well, I mean, dude, tell me you've never been at like a party or something and people are starting to get like raucous or whatever. And you're like, I don't fucking care about what's happening right here. And you just like go off somewhere else and chill and talk to someone else who's being chill.
No.
All right.
I'm sure it's happened in the past, but I can't actively remember because most of the time if I show up at a party, I'm already drunk. So sure. I'm the ruckus at that point.
Also, I don't get invited to parties, so
we'll have a party just for you, buddy.
Fair enough. But also, like, it's a party for Masato's promotion, ostensibly, and they're talking, and she basically says, like, yeah, I don't really care. I mean, I'm just here to fight the angels. The rank doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, no, that part I agree with.
So she's not really invested in the party, and it's very clearly not Shinji's scene. But he's like, oh, aren't you happy that like you're being recognized and promoted and people are praising you and whatever? And, you know, again, she basically says like, no, I don't like that doesn't do anything for me. Why do I care what these people think of me? We cut to Gendo and Fuyutsuki. Like, I don't know what the hell. They're at the South Pole and they're like philosophizing to each other.
Yeah, they're talking about the destruction from the second impact.
Yeah, that was a weird bit. I did notice in this though, like it's probably why he's always doing the finger steepling. This scene tends to frame Gendo from really low angles so that we're always looking up at him. And that kind of made it feel to me like, oh, he's always in that same pose because we're not supposed to see Gendo as a person. We're supposed to see him as a figure, as a representation of something, whether that's like a representation of, you know, what masculinity is supposed to be for Shinji, or yeah, I don't know. Just the way they frame Shinji or Gendo in the scene made me realize that that's probably why he's.
You did forget the fact that Kenji eventually does show up to the party.
Oh, yeah, fucking Kaji and Ritsuko show up to the party, which, come on, Ritsuko, what are you doing?
Oh, you know exactly what she's doing. She's a woman. She's got needs.
No, she's...
Yeah.
I think she's fucking with Misato.
I have a theory on that one. They just showed up at the same time and then walked in together. I truly don't think Ritsuko would be hanging out with Kaji.
I don't know. I mean, Kaji has some stuff going on, and Ritsuko has some stuff going on that we're not privy to. Those two are playing at things that I don't think we fully understand yet. Then the 10th angel, Sahaquiel, shows up, and it's dropping bombs from orbit. And it's just like weird, another eye monster. And they start, you know, they evacuate again and come up with another plan that's like 0.1% chance of success.
No, dude, it's not that. It's 0.0000001. Which I'm gonna say right now, I'm tired of them fucking saying it.
I am too.
I wish they would fucking fail. I'm so tired of this fucking stat. Can we not bring up stats anymore, you guys? Because stats don't matter against these fucking in this fucking anime. Can we stop saying anything stats? Can we just say, oh, this is gonna be a hard battle for you guys? Can we just go with that? Can we just go with that instead of this fucking 0.0001%? Because that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, but it's I love it every time. It's so
I hate it, bro. I'm so done with it this season in this fucking anime.
Thank you, Anthony. At least I'm with Monkey on this one,
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a bullshit stuff. I think we hold it, what, 3 or 4 times now? Like, yeah, man, it's so bad.
If it was something ridiculously, sure, but like, you know, like, I'm skipping ahead, obviously, for this one, but he just walks, like, he runs up and then just holds it. Like, that was what was supposed to be so fucking hard.
Well, it was gonna fall in a big area.
And then he just waits, and then the other two people show up, and they just cut it. Like, and that's the 0.00001% chance. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
I mean, it makes sense. They're basically catching the fucking. The plan is to catch the fucking angel, and while they're catching it, all 3 people is gonna activate the fucking AT field, so they're able to destroy the fucking angel's AT field.
Man, it's just fucking
it's so stupid. But I'm here for stupid.
I was here for a psychological thriller, and we're just now getting into it.
Misato, so they're doing this plan, and Ritsuko is not happy with Misato at all in this episode, which I think is fucking weird. Like, this episode was so weird to me. But she's mad at Misato because Misato wants to do this fucking thing, like she wants to do this plan. But I'm just like thinking, I'm like, all the plans you guys had earlier are this bad. Like, you guys never had any good plans. Why the fuck you mad at her now? I thought the whole point is to kill the fucking angels, isn't it? Aren't they killing the Avas?
But the point is, like, Ritsuko is just fed up with Misato coming up with these low chance of success plans because she understands that Misato's not here for success or whatever. She's here because she wants revenge on the angels, and that's it.
Okay.
She doesn't Ritsuko is basically taking the stance that Misato doesn't fucking care what happens as long as she gets to take down the angels.
You know what's also good, Misato? If you do a fucking plan. I mean, I never hear any fucking plan out of her fucking mouth, but whatever.
We do get a plan from Ritsuko in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, and then does that plan go through? Yeah. No, it does not.
Wait, yes, it does.
Oh, there's another plan that doesn't go through. Anyway, so Misato promises the kids that a steak dinner if they do this plan.
I love this.
I'm like, I want more than a steak, Misato. Like, my gosh, we're sacrificing our lives and you're giving me steak? I want 5 steak dinners. That's all. 5 steak dinners. I'll be fine with that.
Masato doesn't have that kind of money.
Believe it or not, I was 14 once. And if someone would have promised me a steak dinner, I'd have been like, fuck you, we're going to Gaddyland or Chuck E. Cheese.
Thank you. Any of that.
And that's basically what they do. I mean, like, she says, like, oh, we'll take you out for a steak dinner. And they're like, yeah. And as soon as she walks away, Asuka basically okay boomers her.
Okay, boomer.
Like, she pulls out a magazine, is like, all right, where can we go instead of this bullshit?
Yeah, I guess you are right. Yeah. Because even Ray was like, I don't like meat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Ray's like, oh, you're coming too, Ray. And she's like, I don't like meat. I'm like, what? Come on. What are you doing?
So Ray's a vegetarian, right? That's what that means, right?
I don't. Well, I mean, she said she doesn't like
Probably.
meat. That's all we know. She
Yeah.
gets all her food from test tubes because she doesn't need to eat.
Okay, here we go.
They have that why do you pilot your Ava conversation again.
I feel like that's going to come up at least 2 more times in the next 10 episodes.
And I think Asuka says something to Shinji, like, is it just to let them know you exist or something like that? Masato actually starts to talk about her dad and how, like, he was absorbed in research and then, never had time for his family. And that's why her family got split up. But when it came down to it, he still sacrificed himself to save Masato. And she feels like she has to get rid of the angels in order to, I think she says, free herself from his hold or his shadow or something. Because she's like, basically she's taking the stance that she hated this guy, but because he died to an angel to save her, she still feels like she owes him or something. Or like she's living in his shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers is like, it's, I like her daddy issue because it seems like she's not even sure why she has it.
Yeah.
But whatever she's doing is working. She feels like it's working.
Yeah, true.
Or she at least thinks that this is the right way to go. I love it.
I also think it's funny how Masato is like so desperate to distance herself from her father, but she runs off and joins Nerve, the exact company he worked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about catching Zahaquiel, which
Did you guys discuss the fact that Shinji asked Asuka why she pilots?
yeah, we kind of touched on that again, which
Okay. Sorry
is
about
weird that actually they did that again because he totally asked her that already.
Well, she asks him that, and Asuka's like, "Oh, I did it because I want to pilot myself," or like she wants to prove something to the world. And she asks Shinji, and Shinji doesn't have no response. He doesn't understand why he pilots.
Yeah, like I said, we briefly talked about catching Zahaquiel, which is actually I think a great sequence, and the music is very good as well. Which I guess the music in this series in general has really grown on me.
Oh,
the
it's
music
good.
that kicks in every single time they're like going to get the angel. I think it's called Decisive Battle.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
It's like every time it pops in, I'm like, hell yeah, here we go. But they catch Zahaquiel, rip his AT field open, and stab him. He falls on them and explodes. But they're all fine. That doesn't matter.
No, here's another one. I'm so tired of big explosions and nothing happening. It's such a big explosion that, like, I'm like, oh, fuck, it's self-destructed. Oh, my gosh, they might be fucked. And then they're all fine. And I'm like, oh, wait. This happens several times where they self-destruct and nothing happens. I should remember that so I don't, like, think they're fucked every time they'll self-destruct. Because obviously that does not mean shit to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned a couple times too where like they're like, what's gonna happen to the Eva pilot? Like for some reason the people in Nerve don't know what's gonna happen to the fucking pilot, and then the guys are just like, they'll be fine. They have the best, like they're the safest in those. They're safer than we are.
Yeah, that's a
kinda
really
thing.
good point. And then Gendo calls Shinji. Is like, good work, Shinji.
I fucking hate this. I do not like this at all. Fuck this, Dad. Fuck you, dude. Why would you? Oh my god! Like, you manipulator motherfucker! I'm so done with this guy. And you know what? Him doing some manual work, I'm like, this guy, he's not that bad. But fuck you, dude! God damn, you guilting Shinji so fucking hard. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, okay. So now looking at this, jumping back to earlier when I couldn't remember, I think it's like the beginning of the episode where Shinji is like basically, I think it's Asuka, Shinji, and Masato, and it all comes out like how Shinji is so concerned about what other people think, and Asuka like gets on his case about it. Like, why do you care what other people think? That's so stupid. Like, and which then I think ties into what you were saying about why she says she pilots her Eva, and I believe it's something to the effect of so she can praise herself. She wants to feel good about herself. She's not looking for the validation from other people, which we know isn't true
At all.
but she believes it's true. And she at least like wants it to be true because she does like super get on Shinji for caring what other people think about him instead of just being like his own person, which comes back around at the very end of this episode. We see, they decided to go out for ramen because for one, Rei doesn't have to get meat, and also they know Masato is broke as hell.
She po-po.
Yeah.
So they decided to be nice. And there's a nice scene of them all eating ramen, and Shinji goes like, oh, I figured out my reason. I want my dad to say nice stuff to me.
Fuck you.
And Asuka's like, really? That's so stupid.
I like that Masato chimed in on it. She's like, come on, bro. Wasn't that her? Or was that Asuka?
Oh, no, it was Asuka, because I actually wrote it down because they're having like the conversation across Masato, and Masato is just like sitting there motionless with noodles hanging out of her mouth the entire shot.
We forgot to discuss one thing though. Some motherfucker in there ordered a shark fin ramen soup. That person is a heartless bastard.
I think it was Asuka.
Shark fin ramen is fucking awful for the environment, guys. Do not chop shark fins, okay? Sharks are majestic creatures.
I'm pretty sure that was Asuka.
Lots of places eat shark.
But shark fin soup is really bad. Like, I think it's banned in Japan now.
Oh, wait, no. Maybe she
No.
got the pork. I forgot who got that. What?
I don't know.
No, Ray didn't. We know that Ray didn't get no poke.
I mean, if you want to talk about bad for the environment, hamburger's like the worst. So
I think Asuka got pork.
At least with the fucking hamburgers, we kill the cows. The sharks are like, you chop up the fin and then you let it go.
oh, that's weird. But yeah, anyone else got anything on episode 12?
I do, because we kind of skipped it and I didn't want to touch it again because it was stupid.
Okay.
But I don't remember the context, which is why I didn't bring it up.
Okay, well, glad we're doing it then. Let's go.
There was a really funny moment I almost spit taked. It wasn't that funny, but it just took me out of something. It was after Kaji and Ritsuko showed up to her party and they asked her something, and with like a smile on her face, and she's like waving a beer can. She's like, I don't remember, Masato. And she was waving the beer can the whole time, and I was like, yes, that's fucking perfect. That's all. It's real stupid, but it was funny.
I love Masato.
And then the next 3 episodes, I refer to Ritsuko as Blondie in my notes.
People love being reduced to their hair color.
All right, Ginger, let's move along.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Episode 13, An Angel's Invasion, or Lilliputian Hitcher.
Oh, what Monkey likes to pronounce. What the fuck is happening in this episode? And oh my gosh, it's boring.
I did have a bunch of question marks in my notes.
I think this doesn't even feel. Yep, it feels like a fourth of the page of my note taking.
I got a solid half.
This episode was way beyond my mind. I was just like, what is this?
This episode is definitely a lot of Ritsuko just explaining things and none of it making any sense.
Yeah.
But first of all, co-written by Mitsuo Iso. I believe that's the first time he's come up. So they're running diagnostics on the Magi, which their names are what? Balthazar, Melchior?
Something with a C.
No. Is it Melchior?
It is Melchior.
Balthazar, Melchior, and Caspar, which the 3 wise men or whatever.
Oh, okay. I
Or
did not know that.
Probably the 3 Magi. I'm not that up, but I know they're like biblical figures.
Damn, we need a fucking Schultz going in here. Schultz Goebel in here. Anybody know any Republicans?
Yeah, okay, they're the Magi. I don't know if the Magi and like the wise men are the same people.
Thank you so much for that laugh.
And it's not as big of a question mark now, but I just want to call it out because like right out the gate, Ritsuko calls the computer mother. And I was immediately like, hold on, Ritsuko, what? Which, you know, we'll get what that means later, but not knowing going into it, I was like, uh-oh, are you okay, Ritsuko?
She's lost her shit. She's the test tube baby.
Yeah, it turns out everyone in this series is a weird, broken person. They go through the decontamination, which again, we have to make a big to-do about the kids being naked for some reason.
I mean, they have to be decontaminated, dude.
I know, but it's just it's not like as bad as the earlier stuff, but it's just like a weird thing of like, what are we doing here?
Decontaminating.
No, why does the audience have to watch?
Or not even that, because it didn't really feel like creep shoddy or pervy for the most part. It just felt like a nothing scene to me.
I mean, we have to get the scene where Asuka's yelling at Shinji for being a poet.
Yes, of course we do.
Even though Shinji has no like wait code. What was I'm trying to say?
Balls.
Shinji
Courage.
No, he
Intelligence.
He has no
Strength. Charisma. Wisdom.
Libido. I assume libido is what you were looking
Initiative. I'm just gonna keep naming D&D things.
No, it's like what's good. He's not the one who's doing this. Like it's out of his hands. All the times it's out of his hands.
for. Oh yeah.
And she still just shits on him, yeah.
she's like, you're poor. It's like, I'm not the one who like told us to all get naked and decontaminate myself. Like, that's from the higher ups. Maybe you should talk to them.
What she does, she like yells at them like, hey, you guys better not like be being weird up there. And like, we're going to turn the camera off. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But we learned this is so they can test their harmonics without plug suits. And they're doing it with like decoy bodies. Or not decoy bodies,
Decoy
but
Evas,
like fake
right?
bodies. Yeah. And then we learned that Ritsuko's mother built the Magi. So that makes her calling it mother a little better. And then there's just a lot of tech talk. I literally just wrote a lot of tech talk.
Protein walls.
I put what the fuck is happening? They discuss what's it called the fact that like all the like the decontamination rooms like was Wesley built so there could be germs in them.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that was like the whole discussion was that, and I was just like, okay, I guess there's gonna be germs over here.
Which actually, good thing to know. Why do they have to be so decontaminated to like theoretically be piloting Evas? Huh? Weird.
So here's my technical solution for this. They have the plug suit, right? And that material probably doesn't interact with whatever fluid's in there, so they need to be decontaminated to make sure they don't bring any contaminants inside that fluid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That's totally the reason. Nothing else.
Fucking nailed it.
Yep, absolutely nothing else weird going on with the Evas. You got it.
That's it.
Perfect. All right, mystery solved. Series over.
So next series, Sal, you want to pick?
Yes, I do. I'm so out. I'm so out of this series, dude. It's taking.
I'm more in than I've ever been. So we start to see a contamination. Ray screams and her dummy body loses control.
The base is falling apart.
Yeah. And they try to shoot it, and the lasers just bounce off of an AT field, and we're introduced to our 11th angel, Iriel.
Oh my gosh, what's the point of this fucking angel? What's the point? Like, us, why is there a drum angel? Like, did they go in a fucking writers meeting or something like that? I don't know how they do anime over here, but they're like, you know what? We're gonna have a fucking pyramid. We're gonna have fucking bomber angel. We're gonna have a fucking drum angel. Let's think of everything, you guys. What the?
And
fuck
then
is
the
this
fucking janitor
angel?
was just sweeping right outside, and he goes, "What about nanobots?"
What is this fucking show? Like, oh my god! I'm done. Like, oh my god, why is there a fucking virus angel?
I will say, in terms of like, they mixed a lot of high tech talk on this one. When the other one was like, yeah, this one's just bombs from space. And we were like, oh, okay. And they're like, this one's a pyramid that has a laser if you shoot at it. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, this one has to go through protein walls, and then it's going to infest the Magi because there's 3 of them, and here are their names, and then this is what's going to happen. And we're like, oh, y'all need to slow the fuck down, right? You don't put all this shit in one episode.
Sure you do. Why not?
I mean, you can, but I'm not going to be into it.
Dude, this show is so Monster of the Week, it's ridiculous. And we get little tidbits of like story, but god damn, it's Monster of the Week.
I think this is very much the kind of show that like once it all pays off, we're going to be like, oh, all that earlier context suddenly makes sense.
Oh no, dude. What's it called? I know that you're in love with the show, Owens, and
I'm not in love with the show.
Oh, you're not?
I like it, but I'm not in love with it.
Okay. And I think Anthony likes it too, but like, oh my, it's taken me every fiber to get through this show.
I mean, I'm about it because I'm too invested now.
Yeah.
But this episode can suck a dick. And I'm not saying it was like terrible, but like fucking come on. It's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm eating lunch. I don't want to fucking.
Well, that's your fault for watching at 2 p.m. on Tuesday while you're eating lunch.
I don't want to watch a TED Talk.
They start to evacuate the base, and Gendo is like, shut off the alarm and cover it up. Like, no one's going to know that this happened. Like, that we got breached.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And they also say that, hey, if shit gets real bad, we need to get Unit 1 out of here. That is like the top priority. They think that the angel is vulnerable to oxygen, but oh shit, it's not anymore because it's evolving.
It evolves.
They learn that it gets into the Magi, or it's after the Magi, because the Magi could enact a self-destruct ordinance, basically.
How would an angel know this? How the fuck would an angel know this?
Well, I think the angel doesn't know. I think it's just going for the technology, right?
I think it does know, actually. specifically trying to like do like it takes over a computer and then runs it, but all three have to agree in order for it to go through. Once it gets into the computer, it actually does start to get like really frantic for a bit with like a lot of sharp, quick cuts, which I really liked. And then Ritsuko comes up with a plan to like, I think it's Ritsuko who comes up with the plan.
Yeah,
or it's either Ritsuko or Maya who comes up with the plan to like change the way the code works to stall it.
Yeah.
So they buy themselves like 2 hours. It's already taken over the first computer. It's working on the second one. And Masato wants to basically sacrifice the Magi. And that's when we learn from Ritsuko, like, oh, wait, we can't do that. My mother is in there, which transhumanism probably is an important theme to the show. We could just blow past that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, next episode.
Okay, great.
Before we discuss this though, so there's this one scene I really want to talk about. I think they're trying to shut off the connection or something like that, and they had to do a fucking 2-key system. I'm a person who loves 2-key systems. When they shove the key in the thing and you ready? 1, 2, 3, turn. I'm like, yes, this is all I want. I love 2-key system.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but now I really want a 2-key scene where they do it and one person's like, hold on, my turn.
No, dude, because there's a podcast I listen to, and what's it called? It's a Scrubs rewatch one, but it's made by the two main actors.
Zach Braff and Donald Faison.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's like Real Show Fake Doctors or something like that. But what's called? And they have these little segments, whatever it is, and they're like, oh, I want to give something to this guy, and Zach's like, oh, I put my key in, and Donna's like, I don't know if I want to put my key in for this one. It's just so great. Like, this whole 2-key system is fantastic, and I love it. And I want 2-key system in this podcast. I don't know what we're going to discuss it about, but I want 2-key system.
Okay, great. Ritsuko's mom is in the computer.
Ugh.
In some capacity, like her brain, or probably not her consciousness, but
Well, we could explain it later, right?
not exactly.
What I got from it was she imbued it with her 3 different personalities. One being a scientist, one being the mother, one being the woman.
Yes, which, all women are just their job, their ability to be a mother, and their gender.
Well, I mean, that was
job,
her
Eva.
mom's personality. That's her description.
No, I know, but it's kind of a funny thing. Because it's written by
it
dude.
Played out because the end of it was the woman held out till the bitter end.
Yeah,
that was a pretty cool quote.
But she presents it in a way of like, oh, because she's a stubborn piece of shit.
I don't know. I got a good one on that one. I thought that one was heartfelt.
I totally thought it was Ritsuko. I mean, I thought it was like a little bit, but I kind of got the impression she was more being like, oh, of course, because, she was so stubborn and bullheaded that, like, that's the part that held out.
I don't know.
And she has a whole line in there about, like, oh, I can never be a mother, so I don't understand that or whatever.
I think you just applied your own tone to her voice.
So all Ritsuko is like a scientist.
Do you guys think Ritsuko is barren?
I don't know.
No.
That felt like a weird line to be a throwaway line, but I kind of feel like it is.
That she's like, she can't have kids or what?
No, she just doesn't want to.
Or, well, she didn't say she can't have kids. She said I could never be a mother. That could mean a lot of things.
Okay. I was just wondering. That's all.
But I kind of feel like it's not important.
I mean, we've definitely heard her say sacrifice the kids a couple times.
Yeah, that's true.
So I understand. Yeah, you go, girl. Do what you want to do.
But I guess to circle back to that point, that is how her mother built it. But I think it's like literally part of her mother is in there.
I don't know about that.
Like her mother is technically alive in that machine in some way.
Well, I think that when I was watching this episode, I did not get that impression. But after episode 16, I get that impression.
Okay, great. As long as you get it after 60.
Because that makes, that would make a lot of sense. Because this was a prototype. Remember?
Yes, correct.
And we'll have to circle back to this once we pass 16.
Ritsuko comes up with a plan to attach a self-destruct code to the Caspar, the third computer, because the way the angel is evolving and adapting to their stuff and trying to kill them, but seems to be working entirely off of, I guess, evolution, not even instinct. But so it has the self-preservation built in, and they try to code the computer so in a way that if it blows up, the Magi, then the angel will die. And theoretically, that would stop it.
So that's their plan. They did not fucking say that.
That's what I got from it.
Because they were like, we'll have to over-evolve it, and it will just coexist with the Magi. And I was like, what the they literally used the word coexist, and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
That's what I thought happened too. I thought that was the plan too.
I mean, it kind of is, because if the angel realizes, like, oh, I'm in this thing, and if I keep going, then I die. I guess I'm just here now.
Okay.
Right? I don't think it's ever going to come up again, honestly.
Well, if they do that, sure, but like, so they just have an angel inside their base now.
Maybe, or maybe it's gone. I don't know. Like I said, I sincerely doubt it'll ever come up again.
All right.
It won't come up
we'll
again.
see. But like, that was just so fucking confusing, because it was like, we'll coexist, and then it like reaches there and it's like, no, I'm good. And then I get like the self-destruct, it'll blow up too. That's fine. But I don't know. It just, they could have picked better wording. Maybe it was a translation thing.
Are you watching dub or sub?
I'm watching the dub.
Okay.
I can't read fast enough. I'm just kidding.
Oh, also, what's it called? Netflix's subtitles are so bad that you might not be able to read them because they only show up for a fucking millisecond.
That checks out.
They go inside, Ritsuko and Misato go inside the Magi, and it's just covered in like notes for backdoors and hacks and ways to basically mess with the system, which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's
detail.
pretty cool.
I do like that too. I thought that was cool.
The whole hacking sequence I really like, with them in there and Ritsuko being like, oh, hand me keyboard 25.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Also, that's just the brain.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't understand how that brain is in there because there's no like liquid to keep it from non-rotting, right?
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, when she opens up the brain and no liquid comes out, I'm pretty sure we know there's no liquid in the fucking brain.
It might be plugged into something.
Yeah.
Or it might not actually be a brain.
I don't
but
know.
boy, is that a brain.
It's weird.
It does not look good. It looked so like...
Oh, no, it's definitely supposed to look like a brain.
You know how
Yeah.
when you rewatch an episode after you see the whole series and you're like, oh, that's the one.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be that episode of it.
What do you mean?
I feel like we'll rewatch, if you ever rewatch this episode would be like, oh, that's what all the fuck this is. Ah, okay, yeah. This was the first whatever.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
that's why the brain's in there, and it all makes sense now. Mother, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, all that stuff does make sense in a way, because we mostly get, kind of like I touched on from previously, we kind of get that stuff from Shinji's perspective mostly, like the different aspects of a person. And we get it through the characterization of Shinji, Rei, and Asuka. And even Masato, like, she shows 2 or 3 different sides. Hell, I would say Masato shows, if anything, is the one who embodies those 3 aspects in this series.
She's not really a scientist.
No, she's not a scientist, but in her case, you would apply it to her title, like the captain, the major, the whatever you want to call her.
Oh, like in terms of like job, mother, and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And she definitely takes on a maternal role for Shinji. And unfortunately, the woman role comes out when Kaji is around.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I forget why she said it, but Ritsuko says something. She didn't do something because she didn't like her mother enough, which just creates this trend of people having parental issues, but then claiming like, nah, I don't really care. They suck.
I don't know, because if that's true, I didn't sense that Ritsuko really hated her mom.
She literally says that she didn't like her mother enough for something. I forget what the context
Yeah,
was.
she doesn't like her mom. She doesn't. It's like they're really discussed.
Yeah, and then we talked about all the different stuff. And we talked about Caspar holding on. And the only other thing we haven't talked about is the kids are just out there in the middle of a lake waiting for someone to go pick them up.
I just
Oh,
think
yeah,
that's
that was really
That's
funny.
the only scene I like about this
That
one is
was-
the fucking,
yeah.
where are we? I thought that was good.
All right, are we good on 13?
And we're good on 14. Let's go ahead and move on to it.
So episode 14, Seele, the Throne of Souls, or Weaving a Story. The first half, basically recap. I do think that it's kind of an interesting framing device that we get the recap. It's like part of it seems like it's military intelligence. Some of it is from like the perspective of Toji and Hikari.
Yeah.
Whether it's like interviews or like their journal entries or whatever. I'm more leaning to the latter because what the hell is Seele?
Kind of looks like an amateur docu-series going on. Really, we just see recaps of everything. We get the names of all of them.
Yep. Okay.
Like they also recap the children too. This is where it hit me that I was wrong the whole time. Because they're like the first child, Ray, and I was like, wait. And they're like the second child, Asuka, and I was like, oh fuck. And then like the third child, Shinji.
Yeah. The main takeaway, I guess, is that we get introduced to Seele, which is some kind of shadowy organization that is up to some stuff, and probably opposed to Nerve.
And do you know? I missed this 100%. Seele is a shadowy organization. I remember them mentioning it. I just did not pick anything off of it.
We don't know much. We just know that it seems like I think it like the council.
Did Seele make the recap?
That's what I took. Yeah, like it's like a Seele intelligence thing.
Oh, okay. And then I really fucking enjoy. There's one line in the recap that I want to bring up. When they're talking about Rey, they said Ayanami
has a tenuous grasp on her own existence.
Yeah, is transitory. And I was like, and it, not like to be pessimistic. She just
yeah, something that isn't quite
like,
pessimism.
That was just a really cool way to put that. But I think it comes out when they say schedule. The schedule is presiding to the scrolls.
Yeah, well, first of all, Gendo is there denying the 11th angel attack.
Oh yeah. That's when we're done with the recap.
Like the council's like, hey, what happened? And he's like, okay, that didn't happen. And the schedule is all going according to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like, hold on, Gendo? Do you want to talk about that, maybe? What are the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yeah, so you got that too? Because I put, what the fuck are these scrolls now? Question mark. And he's still talking to this like UN council, right?
Yeah, that's when he's talking to, which I think Seele is that council, basically, I believe. I could be wrong, but they're at least linked from my understanding.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that I'm going to, once we finish this series, I'll probably like do some Googling and be like, oh.
Yeah. And then we cut to Rey's stream of consciousness. Which is, I think this is a fantastic scene.
It's pretty cool, but like, it was so fucking weird. Just her going straight slam poetry on us.
Hell yeah, dude. But I mean, and then we learn like, oh, this is like what her mind is doing when she's with Wynn and Eva. Because they talk about these sync rates and, you know, their ability to sync with Eva's, but we don't actually know what that means. Like what's going on in their head that dictates where they can sync with the Eva. And I guess for Rey, this is it. And she starts to get into like, oh, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Again, yeah.
And we see that they're testing everyone's sync rate with all the Evas, basically. Yeah, except we learn that Asuka is the only one compatible. Who can, no, Asuka is the only one compatible with Unit 2, is what they say.
No, I'm pretty sure Asuka's cannot be compatible with anybody else.
Oh, okay. I thought they said that Unit 02 is not compatible with anyone else.
Well, yeah, because then they could still throw Asuka inside there. Just put no one inside too.
Yeah, so didn't they say Unit 02?
I got the assumption that Asuka was just not part of this.
No, in my notes I said 02 is not compatible with anyone else.
Yeah, so which to me means that Eva is only compatible with Asuka. That's the impression I got.
Yeah.
Because they put Asuka in Unit 1.
When was this?
It's at the beginning, right after Rey. Rey's in it, and then Asuka's in it, and then Shinji is in Unit 0. We never see anyone else in Unit 2. And then they say that Unit 2 isn't compatible with anyone else.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all. I don't...
No, that makes sense. Like, I know that they're not going to put anybody else in Unit 2. Well, what the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all.
Did they rewatch their own show? Because Shinji was in Unit 2.
No, he wasn't. He was in 00. He was in 00.
When we first meet Asuka and she's like, jump in. We're going shopping.
I mean, that doesn't matter because fucking we had 2 kids show up in Unit 001.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that shit gets explained later about the
I don't know, man.
Versus whatever.
The impression I took was that Unit 02 was only compatible with Asuka, is what they said.
Yeah. And then the other point I was going to make was, okay, well then why can't Asuka still be part of the trials, even though
she was?
I don't remember her going to another robot, dude. I think
she was in 01.
I don't see who. I'm looking at the wiki right now. It doesn't say anything about her going to 01.
I'm not logged in on Netflix on my computer, so I can't go look.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw the Rey and Shinji swap, and that was it.
Yeah, that's all.
Unless it was Asuka, unless for some reason they showed Asuka in 02, and I thought she was in 01.
They did because Asuka was talking to...
They did show Asuka, yeah.
Oh,
She was
okay.
also doing her test, right? Or I don't know if she was actually in it, but she's in the scene.
Because she's jealous of everybody else.
Oh yeah, because she keeps like tuning in to
Yeah.
Shinji, and she's like, "No, they're
Right,
like, stop! You're distracting him."
And Shinji and Rei are doing this weird thing where they're smelling each other.
Yeah. I love how that's like the common thread right there. It's like,
I
like,
know you just put
smells
that
like
off, but I
Shinji.
think that's important.
Maybe.
I think that's important. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that.
But I just think it's funny that like Rei gets in there, it's like, smells like Shinji.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the fucking water that's inside the fucking robots, like, that's like blood, right? There's no, like, they have described it several times.
We're gonna talk about that.
I'm pretty sure because they already mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, they have mentioned the fact that it's blood in there.
Because Shinji had like a little blow off text about it being blood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we realize that Rei can be, I think Rei is one of those people that can be compatible with anybody, like any robot. But I don't think she's as strong as anybody else. Like, I think she's like the weakest one out of all the pilots, just because she's like a jack of all trades. You get what I'm saying?
But master of none.
Yeah, the master of none.
I feel like these sync tests and compatibility with different units and all that is kind of a misdirect.
What do you mean?
I think it is too.
Because Shinji gets in Unit 00 and then he has those like flashes of Rei and goes berserk, just like Unit 00 did previously with Rei.
Yeah, no, we've never had a successful combat session in anyone's other shit, right?
Rei has.
Ray's been in Unit 01?
No. The closest we got is when Shinji and Asuka were both in O2.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Rei was able to control O1 without any problems.
Well, she was able to like be in it and sync. She didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, there was no actual combat.
Yeah, but I think that's completely fine. But, I mean, if you guys don't think it is, it's fine. I just think, to me, it looks like Rei can, like, hop into any robot and do whatever she wants. Because her whole mind's like
Except we know that's not true because we saw her in her own unit and go berserk.
Yeah, but we also see Shinji go into a whole unit and it goes berserk. So it's not Rei's fault. It's the robot's fault. It's the Eva's fault.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So I don't think the people have as much input as the Evas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but then you're saying that the Eva 01 is fine with Rei controlling it. It might just be because it's Rei.
To an extent, again, like I said, I feel like it's kind of a misdirect. But actually, now that you bring that up, remember that because we will circle back. Think about the importance that Gendo puts on Rei and the importance that he puts on Unit 01. But yeah, Shinji loses control and he starts bashing the wall, which whoever built the windows in this base, give them a goddamn raise.
Yeah, good point.
That's so good, Owens. I like it.
And we're led to believe that it's after Rei. And then we learn later, Ritsuko's like, no, I think it was after me.
Hey, it was after me, bro.
Which, hold up, why?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on here?
Ritsuko knows some shit. And then we briefly learn about the Spear of Longinus.
Whoa.
Gendo's like,
Before we discuss this, we have to discuss the fact that Shinji literally went into Rei's mind. Like, the fact that the robot has Rei's mind in it, Shinji is able to access it.
yeah, I mean, there's clearly something going on. I mean, think back to the very first episode. Right before Masato comes and picks up Shinji, he gets that flash of Rei on the street.
Yeah.
So there's something going on there.
No, I'm just saying, though, the fact that the robot has part of Rei's mind in it.
Yeah, the robot triggered the mind, not just Shinji going like, oh, look, there's a girl I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Well, no. She wasn't actually there in the first episode, though.
Yeah.
That was just a
And
vision.
she's obviously not in his mind either.
I have thoughts about that, which again, we will talk about in 16.
Oh, are we talking
okay.
about a Shinji's fucking crazy? Is that what it is? Because
Nope.
I always type shit.
Okay.
It's worse than that.
Let's go into 15. Well, not yet,
just real
but-
quick. Do you guys know what the Spear of Longinus is?
No.
No.
The Spear of Longinus is the spear that pierced Jesus Christ when he was on the cross.
Lovely.
Wow. I would never know. That's how much I'm into religion, you guys.
So
Go on.
they actually have that spear, or that's just what they're calling it?
I think that's just what they're calling it for thematic reasons. And, Gendo was like, or someone's like, oh, what about the Spear of Longinus or whatever? And he's like, oh, don't worry. Rei's got that handled.
Yeah.
And then we see Rei walking down a hallway holding a spear called the Spear of Longinus.
Is that spelled like supposed to be like I don't want to say super important, but like I understand that it appeals to Jesus Christ, but like does it do anything else special?
No, I don't think so.
Or is this like a regular fucking spear that has a name on it because it stopped somebody famous?
I mean, yeah.
I think it was the latter. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was wondering. I'm just like, oh, does this?
But it's more of a symbolic
I
thing.
understand. It's just I was wondering if the spear shot lightning bolts or laser. One of those two. I don't know.
My last comment for episode 14. This man loves the smell of his fingers.
Bro, who doesn't? Episode 15, Lies and Silence, or Those Women Longed for the Touch of Others' Lips and Thus Invited Their Kiss. Co-written by Akio Satsukawa. We open on Gendo and Fuyutsuki. I hope that's his name.
Okay, one thing I want to discuss.
Yes.
What's dogma?
Dogma is like a creed. Like, it's not exactly a creed. I think it's like a central idea or a central principle, or maybe it's a whole collection of them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think a dogma is just like a belief or a principle. So we open on Gendo and Fuyutsuki in the helicopter, and we see the craters. They're like, oh, those are now lakes, like whatever they call them, 3 and 4. Hope there isn't going to be more of them, which I took that as like, oh, those are the craters that were left by Sahakuel dropping bombs.
Well, I think just in general explosions, yeah. Like not specifically his. I think it was just, I think it was like all angel fights, you know?
Yeah. And they're just like talking plans, those two jerking each other off again.
What's the dummy plugs?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, go on.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I do vaguely remember that, but I didn't put any importance on it, I guess.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't dummy plugs, I think they're just plugs that don't actually go into, like they have fake EVAs. They're just fake plugs too.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't think there's a lot like in it. I think it's just literally like the entry plugs. They're just dummy ones where they can like do testing in.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I know that one.
I don't know what that means.
It's like if they want to test out the new fluid or whatever to see how they react with the suits, they put them in dummy plugs instead of the real ones.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
So then we cut to Kyoto with Kaji. We learn that he's investigating Nerve. He's talking to this woman through a door who's pretending to read a magazine but has spy information on it, which is actually pretty cool.
While feeding stuff. I don't know what she was feeding, but she was feeding something.
And she's from the Human Instrumentality Project?
Wow.
Is he investigating the Human Instrumentality Project?
Who the fuck knows, dude? This guy does not know what the fuck he's doing.
All right.
I don't know what he's doing.
Prediction time.
All right, let's do it.
Tokyo 3 is the Human Instrumentality Project.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. The show is so over my head. It's ridiculous, dude.
That entire fucking city is some weird experiment by the government to or Nerve or Seele or something. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, I know that we've heard this name before, and the purpose of this place is to find the children.
Yes. So I think it's like a farm, right? To find kids. Like, oh, Kensuke has it evacuated because maybe he still has potential.
But Asuka's never been there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have these set up other places.
Okay.
No, there's no way that it's like that. I don't think so.
Well, what I kind of got from this is that's just another one of the fucking acronyms we have to remember, and their whole job is just to find children.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be some over-the-top bullshit.
Well, hold on. They did bring Asuka there, though, so it is centralized.
Nerve is centralized with the EVAs, yes.
I think the Human Instrumentality Project and the EVAs are like the same thing.
Well, because we also know that like there are other EVAs being made and being greenlit.
But we don't know that they have pilots.
Yes, that's what we're working on.
Okay.
And then all I know is Koji's job is to investigate Nerve particularly.
Kaji.
That was the exact Kaji. Yes, thank you, Kaji. And those were the words. They didn't say investigate anything else. They said investigate Nerve.
Okay. Then Asuka leaves Kaji a voicemail, which, come on, Asuka.
I hate this. I do not like this at all.
Asuka, I'm on your side, but don't do this shit. She leaves Kaji a voicemail basically being like, perverts being perverted near me or at me or whatever. Come help me, Kaji. Just to try and get his attention.
She was like, that'll get him.
Which, Asuka, that sucks. Don't do that.
Yep.
And then Hikari, I think, goads Asuka into going on a double date with her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a double date, but I don't think it was it double?
Well, I that's kind of the impression I got. She's
I
like,
thought it
hey,
was
do me a
just a single
favor.
date.
Go on a date with this guy who's like a friend of my sister or whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was double, though. I think it was a single. She was just setting him up because the dude liked her.
Maybe.
But I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it's not really relevant. Either way, Asuka gets set up by Hikari, and while everyone's doing stuff at the school, which first of all, oh no, Shinji is kind of doing stuff, but he's just watching Rei ring a towel.
Yeah, which we find out why it's important why he's seeing Ray.
Yeah, with Shinji, we need
Wait,
to talk.
is this before he asked advice for Ray? I'm just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting this. Shinji and Daddy meeting.
That's later.
Oh, that's much later.
Gotcha. That's my next note.
I mean, to be fair, it's mostly set up. Like Shinji's watching Rei ring out the towel. Ritsuko and Masato talk about weddings.
I like this conversation because what's it called? Misato's like, oh, I can't wear this dress because I wore it this one time, and I can't wear this dress because I wore it another time. And what's her name? Ritsuko's like, what about the orange dress? I haven't seen you wear that. And Misato's like, I can't wear that. He's like, oh, you gotten too big for it?
Yeah, she's like too tight.
Yeah, she says, has it gotten too tight? And Masato's like, yeah, fuck off.
He's just like, I'm gonna grab something when I'm out. I like that conversation between those two.
Yeah, it was good. And I think it shows just a fun thing of like, oh, people are just like getting married like crazy, apparently.
Yeah, because the war is ending.
Yeah.
Gotta have those quarantine babies.
And then Shinji asks Rei about Gendo. I don't remember really what he says. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's like, oh, so what can you tell me about Gendo? And she's like, what are you talking about, dude? He's like, I saw you guys having a good conversation. And she's just basically like, I don't know, dude. What do you want from me? I have nothing to tell you about Gendo. And then he gets weird, which, to be fair,
Okay, yeah, this one was so out of left field. I do not understand it.
from his perspective, it's a compliment, right?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to be nice. He says like, oh, watching you wring out that towel, you looked like a mother. You might make a good housewife someday. Which
Did she smile after that?
she did. She smiles and blushes. For one, from Shinji's perspective, that's a compliment because like that's what he thinks, I guess, women are supposed to be like.
Absolutely.
He's saying like, oh, you would be a good adult woman. Maybe. And then for her, I think she takes it as a compliment because she kind of has this moment of like, wait, hold on. Someone's looking at me, I guess, like not only like as a woman, but as a human, not just this instrument of destruction or an EVA pilot or whatever.
So are you saying, and that statement, are you saying that she's a EVA pilot and because of that she's an instrument of destruction, or instrument of destruction and an EVA pilot?
Both. I mean, I don't know how linked the two are, but you know, for the most part, Rei is a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we see her.
But you also mentioned like you're like, look at her as a human. I was like, that's a weird thing to say.
Well, we don't really see people treat her like a human.
Oh, in terms of that regard, someone's just treating her like she should be treated.
Yeah, like, and not only that, I think it's maybe telling that he talks about her future like, oh, you know, you'd be great at having a normal life.
Yeah, yeah.
And probably no one has ever said anything like that to Rei. She's
Yeah,
probably
very-
gets
yeah.
praised for being an EVA pilot, which, Shinji, please pump the brakes on the mother stuff with Rei, please.
So those are predictions that I want to say after this episode. We could discuss it.
I think it's the same prediction, which I have for 16.
Okay,
But yeah, you could say it after this episode.
yeah, that's fine.
Then we got back to the apartment, and you know, all three of them have their plans for the next day. Do we think Asuka has like dad issues?
I don't know. Why would you say that for?
Because we know everyone else has parental issues at this point, except for ostensibly Rei. But woof, that's probably a whole other thing.
I think Oscar's might be mother issues. I don't think it's dad, but I might
We
be
get that
completely wrong.
one scene of her like, you know, whimpering and saying "mommy" while she's asleep,
Yeah,
which at this point I take to mean that her mom's dead.
yeah.
Well, I also got, you know about my past, right? From the Hot
Yeah.
Springs episode part.
Right. And I think this scene specifically, and these couple of episodes really drive home the point that Masato is playing surrogate mother to Shinji, but she feels much more of like a big sister to Asuka than a mother figure,
Yeah.
despite them being the same age and in the same position. Because they're just out there like talking about the clothes they bought and arguing about perfume.
Also, did you guys see Pin Lane on the pillow?
Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
say, great pin scene.
And then Masato goes into Shinji's room and is like kind of hypocritical and kind of pointless because I guess Shinji has been taking steps, but basically tries to give him a pep talk of like, hey man, you gotta stop like running away and moping all the time. Just like take that first step to fix your relationship with your dad instead of being like, yo, fuck Gendo. He doesn't deserve you.
I have to agree with Shinji. Fuck Gendo. He does not deserve you.
Well, no, Shinji doesn't think that. But I mean, I just found it kind of weird that Masato like is trying to build him up to repair his relationship with Gendo instead of being like, dude, you don't need that guy. He sucks. Especially considering her own situation.
No, this whole situation is just like Misato and Shinji basically have the same life.
Yeah.
And I think she's speaking from the heart, basically, to Shinji. Because she wished she'd done the same thing.
Yeah, maybe. That's actually a good point.
And we know that Shinji does not want to spend time with his dad. So I think what Misato just comes in there.
He super does.
Does he?
Oh,
yeah, he really, really does.
Yeah,
he just is
attention.
scared about it.
Okay.
Because I got really mad at the end of this this part right here.
Which part?
When I think after her little scolding, she was like, and remember, you have to go see your mother soon. And I was like, oh, come the fuck on. We got 16 episodes and there's no mother, like, because I would assume she was dead. And then they said that, like,
Oh.
I was just pissed. I was like, if they introduce
The mom.
an actual character, yeah. But then it's the gravesite, and I was like, okay, fine. I'm calming down again.
Gotcha.
I would actually love to see the mother. Like,
Hey, I have thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think
I
we've seen her.
bet you have.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, boy.
God, I want to rush through 15 so bad.
Oh, I know. Okay. So we get the wedding, which is kind of fun because, like, it's very much like, hey, happy wife, hey, life. Just people going through the motions. It almost feels insincere.
And they make it that way, too, because it was, like, so cut so quick.
Yeah.
It was like, wedding, haha, yay, speech, reception. Okay, now they're drunk.
Yeah. And then Kaji shows up. It's fuck Kaji. Then we get to the gravesite. We learn that Shinji's mom has been dead for 10 years. So he would have been 3 or 4 when she died.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years since him and Shinji and Gendo have visited the grave together. Shinji talks about like, oh, I can't remember her face. Do you have any pictures or anything? And he's like, nah, dude. And he gives him this like fucking stupid bullshit line. Forgetting lets us go on living, but there are some things we must never forget.
What does that mean?
What? I mean, which to be fair, like it's complete nonsense. But he also says like, oh, that's something that Yui, who is the wife, taught me. And that's like how I try to live my life. So Gendo, this is the most humanity Gendo shows, and that he's still like living in a way. He's also living for someone else's approval. Like he's trying to live up to the standards of his dead wife, theoretically, and do good by her.
That's a stretch.
I mean, that he kind of explicitly says it. Whether he's doing a good job or not is questionable.
I don't know, man. Off of one sentence of dialogue, just because she said it once and he repeats it for his son doesn't mean he's living his life by it.
No, but I mean, in his own way, he probably thinks he is.
Because he also said you keep what's important inside of you.
Oh, in the conversation, we know that Shinji ran away.
Which is very shitty, but a true statement. And that's why, like, there's no memories of or photos of or anything.
Is that why you think?
Nope, but that's what he told him.
Because guess what? Oh, there's no body either.
Yeah, there's no body.
What's up,
there.
Gendo? Huh. You threw everything away, huh? Nothing shady here. Everything's cool. No body, no pictures. Sure. Whatever you say, Gendo. Then his helicopter comes and he goes to get in it. We get a quick shot of Rei in the helicopter.
And Shinji being jelly.
And yeah, and Shinji, oh God. And then he's like, hey, wait, I'm really glad we had this talk. And he's like, I see.
Yeah, he did. I see.
And then he just leaves.
I would like to say it's just an intense father-son discussion. Like, goddamn, it's just intense.
Yeah.
That didn't instantly cut to Shinji playing Bach.
Yeah. Is that Bach?
Yeah, the cello suite number 1.
Did you look it up or did you just know that?
A little bit of both. I forgot. I knew it was the cello suite number 1. I forgot who made it.
That's something I would like to discuss. Did they get a big apartment?
No,
I don't think so.
No, they did not.
Okay, I'm just saying it looks bigger. Like,
Masato probably cleaned up.
Okay.
Or Shinji cleaned up. Probably
Also,
more likely.
fucking Pen Pen's fucking room is fantastic. I fucking love Pen Pen and his fridge room. It's great.
Pen Pen's about to have his best scene of the whole series coming up.
Okay.
So we get back to the apartment with Shinji apparently playing box whatever, cello number 1.
Cello suite number 1.
Mambo number 5. And Asuka comes in and is like, hey, you're actually pretty good. And Shinji's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I've been playing forever. I never stopped because no one told me to.
She's like, yeah, that,
And Asuka's
yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Of course, dude. What?
Yeah, that's so fucked up, Shinji. Also, Shinji told her that he's not even that good. He just did it because he just kept playing.
Yeah. Yeah, and she even says something like, hey, perseverance is like the first step to improvement.
Yep.
Like, she's actually being nice. And then Shinji's like, hey, I thought you were on a date. And Asuka's like, nah, that dude was super boring, so I left him in line at a roller coaster.
God, that's so mean. God damn, Asuka.
Hey, this is the one y'all like.
Dude, Asuka is so mean and so the worst, but watching her on a TV show, oh, God, I love her.
I'm just saying, if Asuka was in real life, I would never, I would hate her. But,
oh, absolutely.
She's a great character. I love her as Shinji's foil. Oh my gosh. Because Shinji's just a punk-ass bitch. I mean, really.
I won't take anything away from you there. But to get someone out of their shell, you don't keep saying, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Let's argue.
I mean, to be fair, she's 14.
Yeah, but she has a college degree.
Yeah, that she's book intelligent, not necessarily emotionally intelligent.
That pisses me off a little bit.
And let's be real, she's not much more socialized than Shinji, I think.
No, probably because she has a college degree.
Yeah, she's 14 and has a college degree and is piloting an EVA.
That's still fuck her.
She didn't have time to hang out with kids her age.
I don't know, dude. She seems pretty popular. I think she's
popular because she's fetishized as a Westerner. But if you want to talk about the kiss scene, I also get the impression. Well, we'll talk about that. We cut over to the bar.
Yeah, okay, we get that scene. That's what I was about to.
Yeah, which, Eva, you almost made Kaji a decent character. You were so close.
I'm done. I don't like this guy.
Because he actually, I mean, they were talking about the old days and we were all friends in college. And then Masato gets up and Kaji actually has a great bit where he's like, yeah, we were living together, but it was more we were just playing house. We were kids who didn't know what to do. Maybe we had something good, maybe we didn't. Either way, we screwed it up and it's gone now. And he says some good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think part of why Kaji sucks so much is because the writers don't even seem like they know what to do with him. Because in the next scene, he's a completely different character again.
What was the next scene after that?
Well, the next scene with Kaji, sorry. But he also gives Ritsuko the coin. And Ritsuko is like, oh, so you were in Kyoto. He's like, no, I wasn't in Kyoto. I was somewhere else. And she's like, I ain't dumb, dude. Come on.
Didn't she know everything too? I know you're playing both sides or something like that.
Oh, yeah. She basically says hey, man, what you're doing is dangerous. You're going to get burned.
Yeah.
And then she leaves. And then I think we basically cut to, there's a little bit more between Masato and Kaji, I think. And then we cut to Masato throwing up in an alley.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. When I first cut, I was like, is he fucking her in the alley right now? And then I was like,
God.
Oh, no, I heard the sound. And I was like, okay.
I mean,
wow,
probably be the same sound either way. Because Kaji's gross. Dude, he needs to shave that supple.
Yeah.
She right. And he's giving her a piggyback, and Masato has a drunken breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know what that shit was between
where
them
she's
two.
like, oh, do you think I've changed? I'm sorry I broke up with you. You reminded me too much of my dad. And she's like, oh, do you think I've changed? I'm such a hypocrite. I'm no better than Shinji. She says her revenge is a delusion and she's just chasing after her father still. She only uses men when it's convenient for her. And Kaji, being a typical piece of shit, is over there yo, how do I make her shut up? I know, I'll kiss her. And that happens.
Yeah, I have nothing for this scene. I was so lost.
I mean, I did really like Masato breaking down and basically contradicting pretty much everything she said about herself.
I mean, basically, what that means is Masato and Shinji is basically the same person.
Yeah.
And so Masato got some of her shit together, but Shinji's fucking 14.
Masato's had 15 extra years to try and work it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just 10 years ahead of him.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a great shot of back in the apartment. Asuka's got her head down on the table and just like tapping a finger on it. She's like, "Hey, Shinji, want a kiss?" And Shinji's like, "Yeah, wait, what? Hold on, excuse me?" And she's like, "What, are you scared to kiss me?"
He's like, "I'm not scared. It's just, why would you want to do that?"
But dude, and then she's like, "Because you think your dead mom's watching you?"
Oh my God.
So weird.
And Shinji's like, "No, I'm not scared." And it's great because they both have this air of like, I kiss all the time.
Their tone says I kiss all the time.
And
Yeah.
clearly like neither of them has ever. And then we get them like face to face and Asuka's like, "Stop breathing on my face."
Oh, wait a second. So I say Pin doesn't give a fuck.
That happens while they're kissing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She like pinches his nose because she's like, "Stop breathing."
Yeah, she's
it
like,
tickles.
your nose hair is tickling my mouth. Stop breathing.
Oh my God.
And then pinches his nose and goes in for that kiss.
I'm just saying because we know Shinji has no balls. He would never like do this. So Asuka has to be the one that does it.
Also, let's be real. Like, Asuka was playing it, but she just wanted to kiss Shinji.
Oh yeah, she did.
And Shinji starts like losing his breath, and we see Pen just like waddle over and like, "Oh, excuse me, coming through,"
You're on my front lawn.
and go into his house that they're just kissing right in front of.
Like the stereotypical bar scene where the couple goes home, they start making out in front of the doorstep, and the guy tries to get inside from his like second shift job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Pin just trying to get back to his family.
Shinji turns like purple. They break their kiss. Shinji gasps for breath, and Asuka immediately runs away and starts gargling and yells back, "That's not something you just do because you're bored."
Oh, I hate her.
No, I think it's because I think she's mad at Shinji because Shinji did not do anything to Asuka while this was happening. Usually a guy would go for an embrace, right? And Shinji literally leaves his fucking hands to the side of his body. He gives you no like what's it called?
Well, she wouldn't know that.
Like if you see a bunch of movies, like a guy will hold the fucking lady when they're kissing, right? There's no way you're kissing somebody and you leave your hands by right.
So I've been told. I really don't know.
But
I think that Asuka was. It's more just Asuka doesn't know. Like,
no, see, Shinji fucked this up.
she
real
doesn't know
hard,
how to
dude.
have emotions.
Asuka is so emotionally undeveloped that she couldn't even have that nice moment immediately. She just had to run to the bathroom and just be like gargle and be like, "It's your fault we kissed even though I kissed you."
No, this was such a long kiss. Like, I think Asuka was waiting for Shinji to do something for them to like. I think she was waiting for Shinji to hold her. But Shinji is such a punk ass bitch that he throws his hands to the side and doesn't do shit.
I mean, what if he doesn't want her?
Then you back her off. You do something. You just don't sit. You just don't do nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for a rom-com, sure.
They're kissing way too long.
Yeah, but I mean, for one, Shinji is just being Shinji. Like, he's just doing it. And I mean, Asuka, again, she plays it off, but I don't think she has any more experience doing this than Shinji does. So she doesn't know what she's doing either. So in her mind, she's probably just like, I don't know, this is what kissing is, I guess. But then Kaji brings Masato home, and Asuka runs over to him and tries to get him to stay and clings onto his arm. And that's when she smells the lavender perfume that she tried to borrow from Masato, but Masato was like, "Nah, you can't have that. What do you need that for?" To which, Asuka now thinks like, "Oh, Kaji and Masato were close now. They did stuff. They kissed." So then she gets mad and okay, I'm actually really curious about this because I'm watching the sub. I want to know from the dub. Like, Asuka gets really mad and basically and yells at Shinji like, "Oh, I'm mad. I'm pissed because I kissed you." Does she say where's the emphasis in the dub? Does she say like, "I'm mad because I kissed you," or "I'm mad because I kissed you"? Which I guess while you do that, I mean, kind of to Monkey's credit, I think. She sees like Kaji as what a guy should be, and I think that's kind of why she has this like weird crush on him, because the guy that Kaji is, in order to get his attention, she has to act a certain way, she probably feels.
Okay, I think that was the implication, that it was just because me and him kissed, not her kissing the wrong guy.
Okay, so she's trying to say that she's mad because they kissed, not because it was him that she kissed.
Yeah, because she was like, "Why are you so bummed?" And then she was like, "I'm mad because I kissed you. That's why." Or, "I'm bummed because I kissed you. That's why." Something like
Okay.
that. It's the implication to me.
So she's just deflecting.
Yeah.
That's a way meaner scene if she puts the emphasis on you.
Yeah, and that's also something he might not even realize either.
Yeah.
No, that's just still her deflecting the fact that she is not emotionally developed enough to understand her feelings for men, whether or not she... I don't know, I can kind of see Asuka, big argument being she just wants to be loved by someone in that man-woman way, and the only person she can do that with right now is Shinji.
Sure.
And they may not really like each other, but she just wants to be in that relationship so bad that she just says, "You're it," by default.
I mean, I think you're right about that, but I think Shinji has feelings for Asuka. Like, there's no, like...
I think Shinji has feelings for like 90% of the fucking characters in this show.
I think Shinji's the same way, and just in a more dude version of it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because every time I see him like go for a woman, he's like, oh, because he kind of looks at Ray. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what decision he makes.
I mean, he has peaked on Asuka before. Like, I mean, Asuka was like naked, so I guess what kind of guy would not peak? But like,
yeah, I mean, he peaked on Asuka, he's peaked on Ray, but like he never.
Right. Now, since this has become a focal point, let me. Full disclosure, when this series originally came to Netflix, I saw some conversation around it. I think it's actually pretty widely accepted that Shinji being straight is not a like foregone conclusion.
oh, okay, I know what you mean.
And that's why sexuality is like such a big thing in this show.
I definitely can see that because he looks so confused every time women involve him in sexuality.
Yeah, and actually that's like such a big reason, I think, why the Netflix dub uses a non-binary actor for Shinji, or non-binary voice actor for Shinji.
Yeah.
And why people love that so much, because it's like apparently so fitting for the character. We haven't really gotten much of it, and I expect it to come in, but it's something that I've heard about this show.
Oh, okay. I just know how this episode ends. I mean, the show ends, and I would not understand why that's a thing. But let's wait until the end.
But after that, we get a shot of what the dogma with Ray just chilling in a tube. Cause sure, I guess that's what Ray does when everyone else is out kissing.
Well, I mean, she has room, so I don't know what she's doing in though.
And Kaji is sneaking around, and he's about to open a door and gets held up by Masato. And she basically says like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you go this once." Which also, hey, Masato, you were blasted and you up catching a dude sneaking around. Good on you. How you're not hung over to hell and back, I don't know, but...
It takes practice. I mean, we obviously see her drunk a lot in the show.
Yeah, fair enough.
And truly, it's... I don't know, say with what you will, but yeah, the more you drink, the easier hangovers are.
Ugh, okay. But yeah, she's basically like, "Hey, you just get out of here. I'm going to let this go once because you helped me out last night. Hold on. Let me show you what Evangelion's about real quick." And he opens the door, and I'm pretty sure Masato pulls the trigger at that point, right? I think we do get a cut to Gendo and Ritsuko.
No,
but
I hear no gunshot.
we can jump back to that. Well, I think she pulls the trigger and it just clicks.
I'm pretty sure there's no gunshot, but...
It's basically implying that there's actually no bullets in there.
Actually, let's talk about Gendo and Ritsuko first, because what's behind that door is much more important. So we get to Gendo and Ritsuko. Kaji says, "Oh yeah, Gendo and Ritsuko are also not telling you things, like, just hear me out here." And then he goes to open the door.
Yeah, this is not all... You don't know as much as you think you do.
Yeah, so they open the door and we see what we're led to believe is Adam, the first angel, nailed to a cross with what the fuck is even that lower body, and leaking a goo that looks real familiar, huh? The TCL fluid or whatever.
Oh, I did not see the goo. Is that the fucking goo for the Evangelions?
I think so. And I think the spear of Longinus is even in him, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
I don't know, man. If it's there's something in his chest or whatever, or in the spear or stomach that is two-pronged. So if that was the spear, then yes.
Which I believe is the spear, which also means Ray came down here and did that. So Ray knows about this.
Probably.
I think she did it.
Because there is a world where she just handed it off and someone else did it. But I do too. I don't think that they would mention it earlier if she doesn't know about it as well.
And why do you think that's not the TCL fluid?
Oh, I don't. Well, I just don't know. Because the amount of times we see the fluid and all of the like video changes and stuff like that, or the color changes while they're in the fucking thing, in the Eva.
Okay.
It's hard for me to pinpoint what the actual fluid looks like. It could just be dripping fucking goo. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the next episode. But
he did say it smells like blood.
Oh, okay.
No, he had said this. Like the first time they go into
my
Eva,
takeaway was that was it. And they're like on some weird Willy Wonka shit here.
Okay, so I said Kanji. He said that's the first angel, Adam.
He does say that. Yep.
But we see Adam, so that's not Adam, right? That's something else.
I think so.
Okay.
I have a hot take.
Well,
yeah.
So he says it's Adam, and she goes, Eva, the first angel.
Oh, he does say that, doesn't he?
Because I was super fucking confused because I heard Adam, Eva, the first angel, all in the same 5 seconds.
Huh.
She does say that, but I think she might have mistaken it. But I don't know.
If anyone's gonna know what the first angel looks like, it's gonna be her.
No, that was the second angel. That wasn't the first one.
I thought the first angel caused the second impact because it happened 15 years ago.
I don't know because there were only 2 angels previously.
So she knows what the second one looks like.
I don't know. I don't know if that was the first or second angel.
We just have to get that clarified. Yeah, because she's seen an angel, or at least she was there when the second impact occurred.
I would bet that's the second angel.
Yeah, I would think it was the second.
I'll have to relook at that timeline.
Which, now that I think about it, my theory of the first impact being the nukes probably doesn't make sense.
I mean, I was gonna say it was a bad theory, but I didn't want to say anything.
A lot of hey, there's a lot of stuff about nukes in Japanese media, my man. Also, Anno went on to make a Godzilla movie.
I'm just saying, trying to make all this make sense. There's no way. There's way too much shit happening. Okay, so here's the thing I want to discuss.
Yeah.
This is my theory. I think Rei is a fucking clone.
I am kind of there with you.
I think she's a clone to Shinji's mother.
I am kind of there with you. That was my 16 theory, yeah.
Because Shinji is seeing Rei do the fucking towel thing, and I thought that was a fucking line that Shinji says, or thinking, or something like that. He's like, you do the thing like my mom did.
Well, he says you do it like a mother.
Yeah, just a mother.
How many mothers has Shinji seen? Just his mom.
But the fact that, Shinji doesn't remember what his mom looks like. There's no body, no pictures. Gendo is super shady. Gendo is super attached to Rei for some reason.
It makes sense. It makes sense that Rei is a clone. Like everything that you said. Like Gendo has a relationship with Rei. We don't know where it is, but it just could be just because Rei looks like the mom when she was 14.
I am fully on board with that theory, but I have one alternative.
I'm gonna get you guys some yoga mats for all these stretches that y'all are doing.
You don't think it's a clone?
Well, my hot take comes
heard mine.
after episode 16, but we'll hear yours.
This would also come after 16, but we'll get there. But since we're talking about the Shinji's mom
fuck it.
theories,
Let's just jump into it.
No, because
let's just talk
episode 15, I'm like, Rei's a fucking clone. It all makes sense.
if Rei isn't Shinji's mom, Eva 01 is Shinji's mom.
Yes, that's my theory.
You might be right about that.
Which we'll get into. So let's talk about episode 16.
No, actually, I'm just going to say it. This is what I'm going to say. Rei's hair color is not a normal hair color. And everybody in the show has a normal hair color.
Masato doesn't.
Masato's purple.
Masato can be black and purple.
Ritsuko's is blonde.
That doesn't matter. It's a normal hair color. She could be dyeing it.
Not for Japanese people. Well, so could Rei.
What? You think Rei is dyeing her hair? She can't pick up fucking bandages off the floor, but you think she could dye her hair? What's wrong with you, dude? What kind of stupid thing are you saying?
It's anime. I don't think hair color matters.
No, dude, I'm saying Rei is a fucking clone.
I don't disagree with you.
I think she
Rei
is.
being his mom. Yeah.
It makes sense because we don't know nothing about her fucking history. Gendo is fucking in love with her because I think the only one that could bring out Gendo's feelings is the fucking mother. And I think it's Ray.
Again, I do not disagree.
Although you could say that Ray is a fucking science experiment. That's why Jindo likes Saw. But I think she's a fucking clone of the mother.
I also wouldn't be surprised if it's Eva 01 because, hey, we had that episode about transhumanism and people being put into machines. Okay, so episode 16, In Sickness Unto Death and ... or Splitting of the Breast, co-written by Hiroshi Yamaguchi, who also wrote on Dragon Ball Super and Gurren Lagann. We open on, a morning in their apartment. Shinji is making breakfast, theoretically doing all the morning duties. We hear Asuka yell and then run out and start yelling at Shinji because her bath was too hot, to which Shinji apologizes, and Asuka starts then yelling at him for apologizing too much.
To which he apologizes for that.
Yep. And she's totally right. She's like, dude, stop thinking everything is your fault. Like, push back a little. But if not to flaunt that she went to college, she calls him intrapunitive.
Yeah.
Which, come on, Asuka, no one knows what that means.
There you go again with those $5 words.
Which, I mean, actually, it is a perfect word to describe Shinji, to be fair. It is just someone who takes all the blame internally. Like, he assumes everything is his fault. I wrote, Asuka calls their shit, and I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. So Masato and Kenji are dating.
Oh, Kaji.
Yeah, Kaji is dating. And Masato's like, no, we're not. And then you get a call. Entering machine picks it up. And Kaji's saying, oh, something about a date or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hey, what if we went out drinking tonight?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So they do the test, and Shinji gets the top scores, and Masato comes on. It's like, hey, good job, Shinji, you're number one. And then we cut over, or I don't know if anything else happens in that scene, but then we get to the locker room, and Asuka is just like going off, like, oh, everybody look at Shinji. Shinji's so cool. Everyone praise Shinji. What a fucking cool guy.
God, I hate him.
Right, Ray. And Ray's just like not having any of it, and then she just leaves.
Thank you, Ray, for understanding.
Asuka just needs someone who's like an actual goddamn person, maybe.
Yeah, somebody to talk to, right? Like, man.
Not these two, not Ray and Shinji, who are like, oh, I'm just going to go be sad by myself and not engage with you at all.
I've never thought about it. I mean, but she makes it so fucking hard to open up to her on any type of emotional level when she's like, just being the way she is.
We even see at the beginning of this episode, like, all she wants is Shinji to push back, be a person.
But we've seen Shinji do before. I just don't know why he doesn't talk to Asuka like he did beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, why is he like, fucking check the temperature, make
stop?
your own damn bath then?
Yeah. I don't know why Shinji's not talking to Asuka like that anymore. It's weird.
I think, I don't know. When you expect someone to do that way, and like, I kind of get where Shinji's coming from, because like, it doesn't matter what you do. In his mind, she's just going to keep calling him an idiot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just, it doesn't matter if he talks back or not. She finds an excuse for every fucking thing that he does. And why would you even, at that point, why would you even want to be around her? Why not just take the easy way out, do what you keep doing, and that'll limit conversations?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, Asuka's...
Like, I don't think Shinji's to blame in this scenario.
No, but I mean, like, no one in this series is mentally healthy.
No, not at all.
And this is just Asuka's thing. Like I said before, when we meet her, that's how she shows affection, right? That's how she plays.
I mean, we know that, but Shinji doesn't.
Right. I guess I'm just trying to explain. That's why I give her some understanding. Like, this is how she's dysfunctional. Then we get Shinji on the bus. He's trying to make a fist because that's assertive, and that's what you do when you're assertive and confident. You make fists. And he finally does it, and he's like, yeah. And then we see like two little kids laughing at him for whatever reason. And honestly, I get you, Shinji. In his head, he's probably like, oh God, there are so many things about me they could be laughing at. Which one is it?
Oh, but I mean, Shinji's a fucking Ava player and shit like that. But whatever, dude. Get hung up with the little shit with two fucking kids that we never meet again. But whatever.
Yeah, dude. And then we get the 12th angel, Leliel, which is shown to be represented as a black and white sphere in the sky. It's actually pretty funny that I think this is the first time we see the Evas like using buildings as cover.
No, Shinji has used it with like guns before.
Yeah, and there's also a hey, we don't really know what this one does, so be careful.
Yeah.
And then I think that's why they were like kind of like behind cover.
Sure.
Again, what is this angel supposed to fucking do? Why are these
We'll get there.
angels so random? These are random fucking angels.
I mean, I'll give it to them in that they're random, as in I have no idea what's going to happen
yeah.
when they first show up.
There's no rhyme or reason. Is like the problem I'm having with these angel attacks.
It's symbolism first. That's what matters. Story first. Like the mechanics don't matter. The
The mechanics matter to me.
No, but I'm saying from how they're trying to tell the story. I think that's the way they're approaching it.
I don't care how you fucking watch it, Owens. I'm just saying how I'm watching it. Also, the humans would have lost so soon because these angels are fucking overpowered. That fucking Avas is not doing shit against these angels. Like, oh my gosh, it's so much luck. These fucking 0.00001%. Like, these guys should have lost a long time ago.
Yeah, I think one big thing is if you look at it as a Monster of the Week perspective, then you'll focus up on those mechanics, which I know you mentioned multiple times. So I haven't looked at it as a Monster of the Week because I'm not focused on the angels them so much as I am like, what the fuck are the Evas? Is what I want to know. I don't give a fuck about the
same.
angels.
Oh no, the Evas are fucking angels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that might be the same question.
I mean, fair enough.
Oh, but you know what's really weird though? The Evas, they're all humanoid robots that fight. Really weird that they're consistent like that instead of fucking angels where they're fucking random and can be whatever they want to be.
Except that the Evas are
semi-man-made.
engineered. Yeah.
God, I just want to see. I'm ready for us to talk about Shinji's confidence.
Before we get to that, I think it's great that Shinji's in there with a pistol. I think Rei has a rifle or machine gun, and Asuka's just out there with an axe.
Battle axe, I fucking love it, dude.
But Asuka kind of like goads Shinji into taking point. He's like, fine, I will take point. And he pops out and starts blasting the angel.
Oh, before that though, so yeah, he takes points blasting it, and I think everybody else is supposed to like cover him. Or something happens, but I just think this is a nice little world building thing. Is so Asuka's fucking plug is too tight to whatever it is. Like she's not able to go where she needs to.
yeah, good point.
So she pops it out and what's it called, and there's like another place for her to pick up a plug and put it back inside of her, and I'm just like, that's really cool, and I like that. Like, I like the mechanics of it. I know you guys don't like the mechanics of it, but I like the mechanics of that.
No, that is a really great detail.
I gave it a nod. I'm pretty sure. Like when I saw it, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can go over with this fucking Monster of the Week shit.
Well, but before that, actually, 'cause she's goading him into taking point, and I'm pretty sure she like leans like heavy into like the gender role stuff. And then when Shinji finds like, fine, I'm gonna take point. After all, fighting is a man's job.
Yeah.
Asuka's like, how antiquated.
After she just said the same shit. That's why I don't like her. That's the only reason is if she would.
She's the worst, but it cracks me up every time.
If she would just stick to like the. I don't know.
Oh, and that whole time, we go into the control room with like Ritsuko and the other guys, like trying to get it under control. They're trying to wrangle these 14-year-olds that are just arguing about who's going to take point.
No, they're not even arguing, dude. Like, it's just Asuka's goading Shinji to take point.
Yeah, but the whole time, like the command center is like, no, guys, listen to our plan, and they're not paying attention at all. Oh shit!
What?
I'm sorry, I have to circle back because we totally skipped something. Way back. I think it's like 12? The Sahakuel one, where Misato promises to take them out for a steak dinner.
Yes.
They talk about how this plan is so bad that, like, typically before these kinds of plans or before these kinds of missions, you go make your will.
Oh, yeah, we did skip that. Fuck.
And, like, oh, does anyone want to go make their will? And they're all like, nah, we're good. We got this.
Asuka's was, no, I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
And the other ones, Ray was like, I'm fine. And Shinji was like, yeah, fine.
Which I think is great because it kind of like at this point, they're like, nah, whatever. We got this. We're good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, they're not worried about being killed, even though Misato was like, you guys are probably going to die. You get that. And they're like, nah, we're good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, this just reminded me of that because they're facing off against another angel, and instead of like being serious, they're bickering and not listening to the people in charge. So this has become like such a casual thing for them. Yeah, then Shinji pops out, starts blasting. It disappears and reappears as a shadow like underneath Shinji and starts sucking him in a pretty unsettling way.
Just quicksand.
Yeah, I think then Rei tries to shoot it, and it disappears again and just starts making a shadow over the whole city. and starts eating like the entire city, or I think they end up saying like 600 meters or something is the radius.
It was a lot.
They're ordered to pull out, both of them pretty much at the same time. Rey gets it out first. They both are like trying to say, wait, hold on, we can go get Shinji. But eventually they are ordered to pull out. And we learn that Shinji, if he switches to life support only mode, can stay alive for 16 hours inside his pod.
There was one thing I want to discuss. So Shinji's being swallowed up, right? Mm-hmm. The escape pod does not fucking work. Why the escape pod does not fucking work, I do not understand. It works all the other times.
Oh, I'd beg to differ.
I understand it's part of the story, but like, oh my gosh, it should work. Shinji should be out of there. Like, they're not even following their own things. Like, I would understand if Shinji gets electrocuted and fucks up the whole system and stuff like that. Like, I would understand that, but he's getting swallowed by a fucking black hole or wherever this angel is, and he can't leave?
No, if you look back, on the escape pod only works half the time.
I'm just saying, like, these guys should have died a long time ago. Like, this fucking science fucking technology shit is shoddy. It's so shoddy. Does not work half the time. They can't turn the stuff off.
I'm definitely gonna give that to you about the fucking the escape pod working and not working only depends, like purely depends on
the story.
The next part of the story, yeah.
Yeah, I would understand if the fucking black hole electrocutes Shinji for a second and malfunctions the escape pod. But the fucking black hole's not doing that. And nothing is malfunctioning this escape pod. They're just like, oh, it's not working now.
And I remember thinking that too. Is like, yeah. And then, well, I think I remember my idea being was, hey, it's not gonna fucking work, you idiots, because the escape pod's already in the black hole. Because I remember when they talked about it, he like all you could see was like the head and the arms. The escape pod comes out of the back of the back. Or like the middle of the back. And that was already swallowed, and they were like, the escape pod's not working. And I was kind of like, no fucking shit.
I mean, I completely understand why Shinji can't leave the escape pod, because if he left the escape pod, the fucking Eva body would be inside the fucking angel, and there's no way they can get it. But like, it's so dumb, the fact that they have to like, oh, it's not working. Well, of course it's not working. Why would it work? Why does anything work in this fucking thing? It's really weird that you guys have a fucking positive track record. Oh, we forgot to talk about that. Asuka's use of fucking battle axe to leave the black hole.
Oh yeah, that was great.
And the prog knife.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sorry, but that literally like pissed me off to no end.
Just kind of in general, I think this episode like is pretty crazy in terms of the way they do lighting and frame a lot of their shots. It's all so good. Like the scene with Asuka and Rey, and then the scene with Misato and Ritsuko specifically.
Are you talking about the scene where Rey's about to fuck Asuka up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that scene is amazing looking.
So they're on top of a mountain, right? And they're overlooking the city.
No, I think they're back with everyone else, aren't they?
I thought that was outside, but I might be wrong. You guys might remember more than I do.
No, but because of the scene, they were with everybody, but it was outside, yes.
Yeah.
So I think you're
both
both
like
right.
on a rooftop, I think.
And then Asuka, I don't know what is. I think Ritsuko is explaining it first, but how the fucking angel works. Which I don't want to do another rant, but how does this angel work? I understand the fucking shadow is the fucking angel, but why the fuck is there a black?
They use
white
like
thing?
a theory of like the Dirac Sea.
Okay.
Which I think has something to do with like imaginary numbers, and I don't know. It's stuff that's way beyond me. It's obviously made up science, but
okay. So she discusses all that, and yes, I guess it makes sense. If you don't really think about it, it makes sense. And so fucking Asuka's blaming Shinji for this whole thing, which I have to admit, it is Shinji's fault, but it's Asuka's fault on top of that. Like,
finally,
oh my gosh,
someone else agrees.
And dude, I like Asuka. Like, I like Asuka as a fucking character. Love strong women, and she's a very strong woman, but goddamn, the fact that she's not taking any blame for this is the worst thing ever. And we do get a great scene with Rey because of this scene, but
I mean, yeah, the only thing I would add is, again, like, this is how Asuka worries.
Yep.
And she's basically like, oh, you know, to extrapolate a little bit, what she's saying is like, oh, that idiot, like, being in combat is nothing like training. Like, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't do it, stupid. Come on, man. Then Rey comes up and fucking gives her a death stare. And the way their eyes are framed in this scene is so good.
I agree. I like that scene a lot.
And I guess to the earlier bit about the angel, we do the main thing that Ritsuko explains is that The angel is actually the shadow on the ground, and the sphere in the sky is its shadow.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to Ritsuko, and Ritsuko lays out her plan to. They're going to drop, what was it, 992 N2 mines on this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, all they had left.
And they have to do it, and then the Evas are going to strike in 1 millisecond.
Yeah. A fantastic plan from Ritsuko, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what, though? I bet this plan has a 0.0000001 of working. And I bet if they carried out the plan, it would fucking work.
Yeah, probably. But then Masato says, like, oh, but what about, like, what's that going to do to Shinji and the Eva? And Ritsuko's like, well, saving Eva 01 is the priority. The pilots are expendable. At which point, Masato then just slaps Ritsuko.
Yep.
And knocks her glasses off.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, Masato. And doesn't Masato, like, give her some, or Ritsuko give her some shade back?
Yeah.
Masato basically says to Misato that she's like, Eva 1 is the priority, not the fucking pilots, which you already discussed. But it's like the highest priority.
Yeah, but I feel like after Masato, like, slaps her, Ritsuko basically says, like, hey, you're full of shit, by the way, and I know.
No, she's like, you too emotional in this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, also Masato says why is getting the 01 like really important. Do you guys think 01 is like the fucking prototype for all the different Evas?
01 is involved with Shinji's mother. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we get to the Shinjis.
Yep.
The Shinjis, plural. A lot of it is represented by a vertical line talking to a horizontal line, and it's the, I guess, theoretically inner Shinji talking to him. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of different Shinjis. There's the Shinji that Masato sees, the Shinji that Gendo sees, the Shinji that Asuka sees, and they're all the real Shinji.
I was so tapped out at this point.
Really?
Because something just swallowed this dude, and then Shinji's gonna die. This is after the yell, right? Where Shinji's like, Miss Masato, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, yeah, let's get him out of here. And then he like goes into this like, there's 7 different real Shinjis, and we're all real. And I was like, okay, cool. Can we fucking move on the story now?
I love this part. I think it's so good.
What did you get out of it?
I mean, for one, it starts to feel like everything up to now has been like table setting, and then now they're starting to address stuff.
In this particular episode, this part of the episode.
Well, from here to the end of the episode, yeah.
Oh, from here to the end, sure. But I think you could skip this part too and just move on to the next scene and then say that from to the end is.
Well, okay, I do have one question about this, though. Do you guys actually think that was an inner monologue? Or do you think there was another entity talking to Shinji?
There's another entity talking to Shinji.
Do you think it was the Eva or the angel?
I don't think it was. I think it was Shinji being Shinji.
No, I think
Okay.
it's a different entity, but I don't know what it is.
They've given
Okay.
me zero reason to think otherwise.
There is one note in here. There's a quick flash of dialogue where Gendo is accused of killing his wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all we get.
Yeah, of
Any
course.
theories or thoughts on that? Do you think he did kill his wife? Do you think Shinji was witness to something?
I think it's going to be one of those things where he physically didn't kill his wife, but because of the position he's in, he killed his wife.
Okay.
And it comes out kind of like that.
I don't think he killed his wife.
I think somehow she had to die for Evil 1 to be made. That's my hot take. No, literally my next note is hot take.
You think even one was made 10 years ago?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. It has to do something with Shinji, though, so.
Yeah, I think you're right, but that was a thing to slip in there.
And it's pretty clear that with that computer can be alive with personality for so long. Why can't they hold a personality to put into an Eva for that long?
Sure. And then Shinji starts to nod off. This angelic music comes in, and he gets embraced by Ghost Mom.
Yep. Which gives him the strength to get out.
I don't think it gives him shit. I think that Eva gets him out.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
his
episodes.
fucking mom.
Yeah.
And dude, what a good scene of him breaking out of the sphere in the sky. Well, first he breaks out of the ground because the ground starts to split.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then just the absolute like Evil Dead level spray of blood.
Yeah, that was a lot.
from the sphere in the sky, which hey, birthing anybody?
Oh, you think this is Shinji like becoming his own person after this?
Maybe. I mean, I'll have to see how he plays out in later episodes, but I think it's a very, very clear like birth parallel, especially the noises that Eva starts making.
Random question, Owens. Have you watched any more after this?
Nope.
Okay, just make it so I know you're like real gung ho about this.
No, I really want to see where this goes, but I can't. I'm not watching more because I want to make sure my takes are
legit. I understand.
Fresh up to 17.
Yeah, Unit 01 starts birthing or starts roaring, which again, I mean, dude, it does start birthing.
You say it, I can see the parallel. I feel like there's a lot of fucking things that we've
They already made womb parallels. He gets embraced by his mom. We think his mom is involved with Eva. Come on, dude.
I can see the symbolism, but
Is that the scene? Is that the scene we'll talk about when we see the mom? Or not we see the mom, but we see
the mom spirit flies into him, and then immediately this starts happening.
No, I'm saying though the flashback to his mom, not the fucking ghost mom. But is this the scene where we see flashbacks of his mom?
yes, it's like, are you
I think
okay? I'm glad to hear it. And he's like, you see boy Shinji, and we don't see what the mom looks like. Honestly, the creature or whatever we see looks like the first angel we see in the series.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, so I want to discuss that. Fucking Shinji is holding a red dot, which we know is fucking angel something, right? So Shinji has met with the false angel. He's holding, like, I don't know what the red dot is supposed to symbolize, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the red dot's like very angel-ish, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Where's that come from?
This.
It's doing the images of his, like, youth.
Yeah, but what's the connection to the angel?
It's very angel-ish.
Have we seen so we haven't seen the other angels have red dots and shit, right?
Oh, like all their cores are like the red sphere.
Yep, that's right.
I got what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm thinking Shinji met a fucking angel, like, when he was young.
Huh, okay.
This might explain why he's a fucking, his synchronization is so good.
Sure. Yeah, I totally missed that. That's possible.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to rewatch the scene, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that. Like,
No, I did. He is holding something red in his hand.
yeah. And I'm thinking that might be an angel core or something. He might be part angel. We don't know. Although he'd be a really shitty angel. And then he turns out to be a fucking fantastic angel, which I would hate.
Wait, hold on. New theory. Hot take coming in. Fresh out of the oven. Shinji's mom is an angel. Gendo fucked an angel.
I don't like that theory.
I don't care.
Okay.
And just to keep everyone on the same, so we got the 2000 back in 2004 where Gendo killed his own mom. That happens inside
Wife.
That's with all the mother flashbacks too. And then Shinji gets real cold, and then we get the something that looks like the first angel that we saw attack, which I guess is angel technically number 3.
Uh-huh.
And that's where
you see that scene, right? You see fucking Shinji holding an angel thing or something like that? Like something red in his hand?
She says, like, you gonna be okay? And then the boy responds, and he's offering up something red. And then she responds with like, oh, okay. And then that's when he bursts out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I have no fucking clue what that's supposed to mean, because we're 16 episodes in and they haven't given me a whole lot to work with.
I think that's an angel core or something. I think that's so fucking important.
So you think that he's somehow given her, the Eva, the core to get out of this thing?
I don't know what it is. No, I'm saying though, the fact that Shinji was so young and he had a fucking angel core or something angel-ish means like it's a big thing. It's like Digimon. When Tai fucking meets not Greymon, but Greymon when he was fucking young, which is why he's able to like be friends with Agumon later on. It's that important, you guys. It's like Digimon.
Maybe. I'll give it to you. I really don't know.
Well, my only problem with that is that in that flashback with Shinji and theoretically the angel, Funk Soul Brother wasn't playing.
Oh, God.
As Eva Unit 1 is bursting out, like Asuka, Ritsuko, and Masato kind of all have a realization and moment of like, oh
yeah,
crap. Because Asuka goes, wait, I'm piloting one of those monsters?
She's never seen one go berserk.
Yeah, and Masato basically has the realization of like, oh, there is way more going on here. Like, or even once we finish this, what are they going to do with the Evas, right? Like, she starts to realize that there's a bigger plan here than just fighting the angels.
Yeah.
And as we'll see later, like, Ritsuko is even a little bit taken aback by this, like, horrible, bloody scene.
Yep.
Masato runs over to the Eva and basically, like, Gendo style, pulls Shinji out and starts crying and hugging him. Shinji says, like, oh, I just wanted to see everyone one last time. And Asuka in the back kind of half-heartedly says, I thought you were going to chew him out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I thought you were going to scold him, and she's just hugging him.
I really like that because it really was like kind of half-hearted. Because, yeah, throughout the show or throughout this episode, Masato was like, yeah, I'm going to give that little shit a piece of my mind when he gets back.
Yeah, the whole episode.
Then we get to Gendo and Ritsuko hosing down Eva 01. And Ritsuko says, like, yo, I was actually really scared of this thing when that happened. Like, what?
And she also mentions Masato knows, or she's starting to question.
Yeah. And she also says, if Rei and Shinji ever learn the truth, they will never forgive us.
Which proves my fact. That's Shinji's mom, and Rei's a fucking clone of Shinji's mom.
Yeah, maybe. It could be both.
Yeah, I can see that. I get where y'all are coming from now with that one, like once we talked about everything.
And I love that they leave out Asuka.
Yeah.
Like, Asuka doesn't matter to them.
Because I still thought, like, I was still on the lines like, okay, so both their mothers died and the Evas are the mothers. But I could definitely be wrong here now.
Luckily, these next 5 episodes are going to bring something out. We're closing to the end, you guys. 2 more weeks. And we get the end of the series, and then we have to watch fucking the end of Evangelion because they couldn't fucking finish it in the anime.
And yeah, and then we get to your Rei and Shinji, if you wanted to say something there, Anthony.
No. This was just what I want to say was Rei and Shinji would be mad. That's what I meant. Yeah,
I thought you meant the scene between them.
No, I think she trips and she's like a little embarrassed and he laughs and that's about it.
No, so what happened? Rei is there taking care of Shinji, which, again, God, I feel like Anno just started reading Freud when he made this series. But okay.
Do you remember what he says at the end?
Oh, the blood thing?
Is that what he says?
Yeah, he says blood thing in that.
No, well, so Rei leaves and Asuka is at the door and like peeks back, but Shinji sees her and that's when Shinji starts laughing.
Oh, that's when she laughs. Yep.
Yeah, so Shinji is laughing at like, oh, Asuka is just like hanging out at the door worried about me, but won't come in. And actually, I think that lends credence to my rebirth theory because Shinji is laughing, which doesn't happen.
Oh, that is true. I did not think of that. And the last part, Anthony?
I think, you talk about how important that red thing is. I think there's something going on with the fucking smells in this fucking thing because they mention it multiple times, like smells like Rei, smells like him, smells like blood, and he sniffs himself and he has that last line right there.
Where he still smells like blood.
Yeah, I think something's going to be I think there's something there. Or maybe like angels can smell. I don't know. But I think smell's going to be important for some fucking reason.
Okay. So real quick, does anyone have any predictions that we didn't talk about?
No, I'm still leaning. I'm actually taking mine back a little bit.
What was yours?
Mine initially after this was Rei and Shinji, like mothers somehow were involved in this, but I think Shinji's is. I don't know about Rei's yet. And that's really all I've gotten because I don't usually make predictions unless I think they're actually true.
Oh,
it's so hard based on these
Making
fucking
stupid ass predictions is part of the fun.
Well, like it's so hard to make a prediction when there's like thousands of possibilities. Like it's cool when there's like five.
So I like to be wrong, so that's why I make a bunch of predictions. I think Rei is a clone.
Yep. Okay, any predictions we didn't talk about?
Oh, I'm just going to say, I'm going to list mine off. Rei is a clone, is a clone of Shinji's mom. Okay, fuck it. We're going to go to you.
What? I wasn't interrupting.
No, I just forgot what my other prediction was.
Okay. We are going to get at least one more Eva pilot before the end of the series.
Oh, I do know about the Eva pilot because I've watched one of the movies.
Oh, okay, great.
I saw the cover and I thought we were going to get 2 more, but
supposedly the movie, I don't know.
But yeah,
I know the movie goes differently, so I don't know about the other Eva pilot. I don't know what's true or what's not true, if you understand what I mean.
Sure. Okay.
Because I know the movies like go a different way, even though the movie's actually really good.
I've heard that I've heard End of Eva is really good, but the rebuilds are like pretty hit or miss.
What do you think of it so far, Anthony?
Honestly, it's kind of rough because I'm so at this point I would have finished the entire series.
Same.
Like I wouldn't have stopped. So that's a new feeling to me, and it's definitely harboring or not. I don't know. Harboring's probably not the word. It's definitely fucking up my ability to judge the show because I'm so used to watching things like I would have stayed up till 6 a.m. finishing this one in one sitting probably.
So it's pretty good then, since you like it.
It's got me intrigued, but like I said, this one's gonna be down to the wire. This one seems like it's gonna be down to the final 2 or 3 episodes whether or not I fucking enjoy it.
Part of what's driving this show for me is the promise, like the decades of promise of payoff for this show.
Yes.
And I'm kind of right in that. But 16, I was so into episode 16. Yeah.
I was into 16 except for the introvert stuff, but that was probably because I just needed, or the introspective Shinji shit, but that was just because I needed to take
to be introspective.
Well, I needed to take a step back probably and just actually watch it. This was 6 episodes in like daytime, and I'm not used to that.
Oh yeah, see, I try to space it out over a few days.
Yeah. I watched 4 episodes today, so and I was half dead because I only had like 4 hours of sleep. Just since nobody asked me.
No, it's okay. Sign us off, Mark.
Yeah, okay. Everything important has been talked about.
Yeah, what do you think?
I still don't like the show that much. I mean, it has some good parts in it, but which show doesn't have any good parts? But I mean, you guys hear my rants throughout the entire show, so like you guys know how I feel.
I had a good joke there where you said what show doesn't have good parts? Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go to, but it feels cheap.
Well, mine was gonna be the one that was it was about 5 years ago. How I Met Your Mother.
Sure. Yeah, that show seems bad, but it went for 10 seasons and people love it, so I don't know. All right. Anyway, are we good?
I'm good.
All right. So next week we will do 17 through 21, which I think will take us into the first of the director's cut, which I believe is just the default on Netflix. I'll have to look into that. 21 to 24 or 25, I believe, have director's cuts, which are supposedly the way to watch it. So if you have the option, go with the director's cut. Next time on My First Anime, will Monkey like any of the final grouping of episodes?
I think the final grouping of the episodes is okay.
Will Anthony be able to pay attention through any of the introspection?
It's just he's talking to himself again. Like I don't get it, man. I would rather just fucking go eat a smoothie.
Eat a smoothie. Find out next time on My First Anime. Thanks again for listening to My First Anime. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends and leave a review. It really helps. I'm Chris Bailey, and you can find me on Twitter at Chris R. Bailey or hear me play Pretend on the actualplay.network podcast. And finally, thanks to Slink for the use of 12-speed as our intro and Winnie the Moog for the use of Speed Energy as our outro.
You can come to my stream, ST Monkey at Twitch, where the O is a 0 in monkey, so make sure you guys remember that. I play single-player games and multiplayer games. Well, sometimes multiplayer games. Tuesdays and Fridays afternoons. You can also follow my Twitter at STMonkey. Also, O is a 0. And my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly containing dog photos of my dog. He's a poodle. And a Shih Tzu.
You can reach out and contact us on Twitter at MyFirstAnime or email at myfirstaнимepodcast@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined, my personal Twitter and Instagram are both Sir Paperplate, where you will find only pictures of my cat. And once again, thanks for listening to
My First Anime.